up, Woodward. We are starting off your day with a brand new crew. Meet Broder.
I can't control my arms sometimes. My limbs are just kind of flying.
Detroit Kool-Aid.
Fired up!
Y'all got Kool-Aid
I'm fired up! But with the Wake Up Woodward crew, he's actually a part of the family.
Flannel Sam.
Ask me about my wiener! Okay.
Along with JB and KG. Wake Up Woodward gets you all of your Detroit sports talk. Every morning, 8 to 10 a.m. Live on Woodward Sports. A show for Detroit, by Detroit, with people from Detroit. Tell Siri to set an alarm. Because it's time to Wake Up Woodward.
I'm Chris. I'm with the business community team, and we've got some special guests today. First I need the basket family. So you're going to be shopping with Malik Beasley.
Hey, what up, though, people? It's Wake Up Woodward. We appreciate you all for choosing to kick off the day with the WUW Crew. And you know what, man? What a night last night. Just to see faces of just different families from across the city benefiting last night. The Detroit Pistons. It's a season of giving, and I promise you guys, it's one of my most favorite times of the year. Just to see hundreds of families that are impacted in such a great way by what they're doing. And yesterday they were out at Kroger and they gave all these families a shopping spree. We're gonna talk about it, plus a whole lot more, man. It's your boy Brandon Dan, aka Detroit Kool-Aid, your credential Pistons reporter and writer for the network. Flannel Sam, the vet of the squad, the vet of the network. What up, though, this morning, brother?
You know, it's a good morning in a lot of ways. Michigan basketball blew it last night, but that's okay. We're not even gonna talk about that because there is another winner in this city that actually got the job done last night. And,
Red Wings correspondent.
Yes.
Flannel Sam right there. Yeah. Sam Reynolds, actually, if it's Red Wings correspondent.
That is my government. Tis my government.
And you know what? So I want to get to that Red Wings content, to that part of the show as well. So let's get into the Pistons. I got to talk to Simone Fontecchio, Jalen Duren, and Malik Beasley at the event yesterday. We will start with Simone Fontecchio, who was with one of the mothers of the families that benefited from the season of giving. Right. They got to go on the shopping spree, and 5 players, Wendell Moore Jr., Marcus Sasser, Simone Fontecchio, Jalen Duren, and Malik Beasley were there, not just to lend their presence and go shopping with these people, but they also lent their own contributions to this as well. And anything over what the Pistons were putting in, the players were like, you know what, we got it. So it was a dope experience to see. The kids, man, they enjoyed it. But let's hear from us, Simone Fontecchio. Hey, you guys will notice something here. It's pretty interesting. I'll start with you, okay?
Okay.
All right. All right. What's it meant for you and your family to have this experience during the holiday season, during the season of giving with the Detroit Pistons organization and their players as well, like Simone Fontecchio here?
It was amazing. The cost of living is so high. This is such a stress reliever, such a blessing, and it'll make things a lot easier around the holidays. So I'm so grateful, so thankful.
That's awesome, man. Just what was some of the favorite moments for you and your family today?
Oh my gosh. He allowed those kids to get any and everything in that basket. When I turned my back, they had so much, so that was so funny. So I really enjoyed that. It was real authentic.
That's awesome. And I heard you were giving the family some shopping tips today. I heard you kept saying, guys, we got to get some meat, we got to get some cheese. Hey, talk to me about the experience.
I just gave out some past advice. You know, I'm Italian, so I'm more than happy to do it. But yeah, all jokes aside, it's been a great experience, and I'm definitely happy and proud to be part of this organization that do stuff like this, especially for a single mother like this. I got so much respect for her, and it's been a great experience.
Because it's not just your presence here, but you also financially contributed to this too, to have this impact here for the Detroit fans. And you know what? What was the favorite gift or toy that you saw the kids pick out today? Which one caught your eye the most?
I don't know. They pick up a lot of stuff that I really didn't have any idea of what they were, what that was. But yeah.
He let them get slime. I'm
Yeah,
gonna have fun with that.
the slime was the best one. I had no idea what that was, to be honest. I'm a girl dad too, so it's hard to say no to girls. Definitely.
I mean, you can't even handle this. You're not even a big boy yet. You're a big boy? How many push-ups can you do?
I'm 8.
How many push-ups can you do? In a row? You can do 40. You can't do more push-ups than this.
I just look good.
Yeah. Yeah. What?
I just look good.
Say this for me?
What's the favorite toy, and what was that favorite moment for you today?
My favorite toy will have to be my favorite toy or their favorite? Their favorite toy had to be the Nerf guns. The Nerf guns were going crazy. It was like they were all saying how they were going to go to war when they got home, and just to see that brought them closer together, that was huge.
Did you get the Barbie? I saw one of the little girls.
Yeah, we looked for the Barbie. We got everything close to it. I don't think we got a Barbie exactly, but we got everything close to it. Make sure she got everything she wanted.
Yeah. And I know that the players, you weren't just out here in support, but you also made financial contributions to this.
Yeah.
What did it mean to you to be involved in that way too?
It's huge. I mean, like, we know the fans kind of support us through everything. You know, the fans show us love. You know, the fans show up for us. So to be able to give back in any way possible as a team, as an organization, is huge. I feel like we owe that to the city.
Thank you. Thank you, JD.
Appreciate y'all.
Yeah, I just wanted to be able to share a little bit of what went down yesterday. I do have one more video from what I call Detroit's child, Malik Beasley, that we will get to in just a second, and then we'll talk a little Red Wings as well. But it was awesome to hear from these guys, and even talk to a person like Jalen Duren. They recognize what the city deserves, not just off the court, but on the court as well. And that was where it was interesting to hear where Jalen Duren's statements went toward the end of his interview. The Simone Fontecchio one was pretty awesome. I got to actually do the full interview with him and the mother of one of the families. And it was pretty cool. I got to hold the CBS mic as well, be a correspondent for them.
Yeah, you work for CBS.
Hey, you know what? It was a pretty awesome experience, man. You know, and that's why shout out to Pistons PR, shout out to Detroit Pistons, the organization, the players. But let's hear from Malik Beasley as well. I had to sneak in one Pistons question. I know it was a charity event, but I had to get the feel. I just needed to know, does where you guys sit right now in playoff positioning matter? Let's hear from Malik Beasley. What were some of the favorite moments for you today, just being out here with these families and knowing the type of impact you're making on the during the holiday season?
You can take it whenever you want. It's just
today reminded me of how I'm a human too. You know, I've been through the struggles. I've been through life, and like you got to come back and humble yourself, and you know, give back to the community. I think good comes to good, so like just trying to be positive, and that's what I'm trying to do in the community anyway. Is just give back. So.
That's awesome. That's awesome. And just, seeing the Pistons right now, currently in playoff positioning, 11 wins on the season after 14 last year, just having that impact on the court and now this impact off the court. As a guy with ties here, just can you speak to what that means?
It means a lot. You know, my main goal is to get that Detroit basketball back where, you know, when we're in the arena and they're yelling Deej, like the whole arena. So we're trying to get that culture back. Rome wasn't built in one day, but like you said, we already won 11 games. We're in the playoff picture right now to start. We're not done yet. We got a lot of growth, a lot of things to learn, and continue to get better on.
Hey, and shout out to Malik Beasley. It was just cool to see these people interacting with the families as well. You could tell that it really meant something to them. Simone Fontecchio was just the funniest one to me, bro. And the whole time, he was like, toys, more toys, more toys. And then when they finally got to the food, he was like, yeah, it's food. And he kept trying to steer them, as you heard in the first one, into like Italian ingredients and recipes and such. And it was something that a lot of the players said that they were inspired by. One of the more personable ones as well, because I know you guys didn't see, we didn't get to interview Wendell Moore Jr. or Marcus Sasser. because they were still in line. There were so many carts, man, and they were sitting there making sure that everything got paid for. It was an awesome opportunity to be able to see these guys really being superstars in the community. So shout out to the Detroit Pistons. They have a big game tonight against the Utah Jazz, and I say big game because it's one that I want to see them go out and just dominate. The Jazz got like 5 wins on the season. The Pistons, they themselves are talking about playoffs, and the All-Star voting is open today. The numbers that Cade Cunningham has right now, the last 17 players to have those numbers at this time, they've all made the All-Star game.
Yep, and hopefully that stays the same for Cade. It should, or else we should riot. And yes, you are 100% right. Beat the Jazz, leave no doubt. I'm not saying that you got to beat them by 30, but the Jazz are terrible. This is one of the games during the season where the Pistons are going to be heavy favorites. So beat the Jazz. Get yourself on a little bit of a 2-game winning streak. Win your home games. Beat the bad teams. That's how you got to start, and that's what the Pistons have been doing for the most part this year.
Hey, let's go, man. And this, like I said, it was cool to be able to ask Malik Beasley that question because he's the guy that's coming from a winning organization. He's a guy that's been in some big state games. He's a guy that he understands what it takes to win and how to kind of ride those ups and the downs of the season that come along, especially with this young squad. So shout out to the Detroit Pistons again and those players that showed up and showed out. And it wasn't just those 5. They've been doing this all kind of holiday season, little different giveaways here and there. And multiple players have shown up. So, you know what? I know we got a lot of Lions on the docket.
Oh, yeah.
We got to talk about Jared Goff's comments.
Yes.
And it's so cool to see these guys, these leaders stepping up to the podium saying, hey, look, this is what it is. And you know what? Somebody was, their practice clock was started.
Somebody big. I will just say that, and it's not just Jared Goff. He is being interviewed by a big friend of the show, Dan Miller. Trust me, we know how big of a friend he is of the show. Have you seen his YouTube videos, his interviews? They absolutely blow up every single time. So we love to see that. But you know what else we love to see?
Tell me about it.
A Planet Fitness workout. Probably a C+ transition there, but you can't win them all. Planet Fitness, it's fitness that fits your budget. Bro. They have 50+ Metro Detroit locations. You can get the cheapest memberships, $15 a month if you want to just get in shape for the holiday season, the new year, or a Beachbody season, which will be here before you know it. Or you could upgrade to the Black Card. And I think the coolest thing about having the Black Card is you don't just have your home Planet Fitness where you can go to. You can go to any Planet Fitness across the United States. So whether you're on the other side of town and want to get a workout in, or you're visiting relatives out of state and you want to get a workout in, if you have the Black Card, there is no excuse not to get to a Planet Fitness. It's Planet Fitness, where your fitness is essential.
Walk into any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men today. Open 7 days a week. Sit back, relax, and enjoy precision haircut, scalp massage, hot leather neck shave, and hot towel treatment from one of our talented stylists. Step up your game this season and take advantage of our $20 haircut special. Scan the QR code and get your coupon today. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, the ultimate haircut experience. Open 7 days a week. Walk-ins always welcome. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It's wicked awesome.
Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on Shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Woodward Golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today.
Get energized for the holidays during the 12 Days of Fitness at Planet Fitness. Now through December 20th, join for $1 down, $15 a month. And recharge this holiday season and beyond in the clean and spacious judgment-free zone, filled with equipment for every workout. Stay motivated with free fitness training and lots more. Celebrate the 12 Days of Fitness at Planet Fitness. Join for $1 down, $15 a month. Hurry! Offer ends December 20th.
A network for the city, by the city. Woodward Sports is Detroit Sports.
Dealing with divorce, child custody, visitation, or other family law issues, Kevin and Catherine at KDK Law in Birmingham will have your back. With 10 plus years of experience and 24/7 availability, scan the QR code on the screen or call 248-971-0476. Say Woodward Sports sent you and KDK will pay your filing fee. KDK Law, they've got your back.
Hey, KDK Law got your back. Wake Up Woodward and Woodward Sports has yours. And you know what, Flannel? I'm hoping the Red Wings have your back. That's what I'm hoping.
Yeah.
Because the one thing I can tell you, covering these teams, man, especially covering the Pistons, it's more enjoyable covering a team that has a little bit more hope.
Yes.
Tell me how you feel about these Detroit Red Wings.
Well, obviously it hasn't been quite the start that the Red Wings have hoped for, us as fans have hoped for, but they are on a 2-game winning streak. They did get a big win over Philadelphia last night, 6-4, and they are in a stretch of 7 of 8 at home, with their one road game being at Montreal, which is very winnable as well, and they're 2-0 in those games. They got a big win over Toronto, who, as Red Wings fans, we all love beating Toronto, and they are one of the best teams in the East, and then a win over Philly, a team that you absolutely have to beat, a team that you have to be better than, a team that you're currently trailing in the standings, but I suspect it won't be that way for long. You love to see it, and last night, you saw things from this Red Wings team that you just haven't seen all season. I mean, you look at the Detroit Red Wings, they have still not been a good 5-on-5 team in terms of scoring, but they were last night. You had 4 5-on-5 goals, plus a Comfort power play, plus a Lucas Raymond empty netter to seal the game. I mean, they are still, though, bottom 10 in scoring, but top 10 in power play. I'd like to see that changed as the season goes on, but you saw them execute on the 5-on-5 last night. You also saw a little bit of depth scoring. We all know that when it comes to why the Red Wings haven't been scoring as much as you would like, Lucas Raymond is having a great season. DeBrincat and Larkin, you'd like to see them up their production a little bit, but they're not really the problem. It's the fact that nobody, in terms of their depth scoring pieces, has really stepped up to the level that we would like. But last night, you got a power play goal from Comfort. You got a goal from Rasmussen. And Joe Veleno, welcome to the season. I haven't seen you. He got himself a goal last night. And you also saw a big moment from Mr. Patrick Kane, who also has not had a good year. I even started the talk of maybe he's on washed alert. It's no disrespect. He's been a great player in the league for a long time, but last night he delivered when you needed him most. The Red Wings had a 4-2 lead in the third period. The Philadelphia Flyers unfortunately tied it up, but it was Patrick Kane who ultimately came down with the game winner, and that's what he's here for. Nobody in the NHL has played more and more big games than Patrick Kane, and to him last night it wasn't a big game, but this is a team that has playoff aspirations and needs to win these games, and Patrick Kane had the biggest shot of the night. And also, to round it out before I go over to Justin and Chase, because Justin was actually at the game, and Justin and Chase are a couple of puck knowers, the penalty kill. Still not good. Still second worst in the NHL, but last night with the Red Wings up 5-4 in the third period, they killed a huge penalty right there, and they were able to hold on for the win. So they need to do these things more often as the season goes on, but it's good to see the Red Wings actually succeed in areas where they have failed for the majority of the season.
Yeah, and just real quick before we pass over to Justin and Chase, I know the last time I talked to you about the Red Wings, they were a couple spots down further.
Yeah.
So they're moving in the right direction as it relates to these check-ins. And they sit 4 points behind Ottawa, 6 points behind Tampa Bay for that wild card. But I still believe that this squad has the ability to be able to get a little bit more. What's your confidence level in that?
My confidence level fully depends on what they continue to do in this stretch of winnable games. This is where you have to stack wins, where you have to stack points. And so far, they've done that. On this 7 of 8 at home, in their one road game being at Montreal, they're already 2-0 in that. And that's the ebbs and flows of a hockey season. Sometimes you're going to get a stretch of more advantageous matchups, and sometimes you're going to have to go on the West Coast and have a bit of a tough stretch. You got to take advantage of these winnable games, and if they do that, if they can come through with some more wins in this stretch and some more points and get themselves back into playoff contention, then my confidence will be sky high that they will at least make it. Because to me, that is the minimum threshold of a successful season, and that the Yzer plan is on track. You got to make the playoffs this year, and if they continue to stack wins, they will do.
Any
they will
playoffs,
do so.
Wild card, whatever.
Yes, absolutely.
Just get in.
Just get into the playoffs. Just get in.
That's getting me fired up. What up, though, Justin?
I mean, it was a great game by them last night. I mean, losing Edmondson was not easy for them.
No, that's fair.
And very sad. No update on his injury status. But what I really liked to see last night is, the penalty kill played a lot better, but there was a lot more effort. There was a lot more oomph and go for the team. You saw them getting into corners, picking up loose pucks, and they were blocking so many shots, which helped so much. The one thing that I really saw that improved defensively, though, was the neutral zone. The neutral zone causing them to dump pucks in and not letting them have clean break-ins, because when they had clean break-ins, they were killing us. I think 3 or 4 of their goals were on either odd man rushes or break-ins, because we just don't have, unfortunately, a defenseman to play defense on scoring threats like that. At this point, that's what you got to do. You got to limit shots by keeping them in the neutral zone, and they did a great job of that last night. So thankful for Patrick Kane finally getting on the board. He's key. Like, you pay the money for him to be a critical scorer on this team. He needs to score. Like, this team goes nowhere if players like Patrick Kane don't score.
Yeah, and you've seen, I think that there's a correlation between the Red Wings, at least prior to the win over Toronto, having such a disappointing start. Patrick Kane, unfortunately, has been one of the poster childs for guys who haven't given you as much as you'd expect, along with, of course, Vladimir Tarasenko. But you bring in Patrick Kane first for moments like that, where the Red Wings, they give up a 2-goal lead and they need somebody to be an adult, be an experienced veteran, and make a play. And Patrick Kane did just that. A regular season game at home, that's child's play for Patrick Kane, but it's not for guys like Dylan Larkin and Lucas Raymond and Mo Seider. That's why you need veterans with all kinds of playoff and Stanley Cup experience to get the Red Wings through moments like last night. Because if they blow that game last night, it's an absolute disaster. But they didn't. They won. They kept their heads above water when they could have crumbled. And Patrick Kane, man, you're going to need more performances like that as the season goes along. And, of course, from Tarasenko as well. But a win is a win in the NHL. And as long as you got a bunch of home games, stack them up. And you cannot lose to Philly at home, and you didn't. So congratulations, Red Wings.
And you got to give Lalonde credit when he deserves it. The line changes that he has made with the offense has been great. Seeing Tarasenko next to Raymond and Larkin has really helped him be a little bit more productive. And he, unfortunately, at this state of his career, can't be the main guy on a line. You need the Raymond and the Larkin to support him. And the same thing goes for Kane. You need the youth. You need strong players to be able to support them. And if you do support them, they should still be able to produce at least at a level that can help this team win some games.
What up, though, Cavassier Chase?
Hey, what up, though? Yeah, I mean, Justin Samuel kind of hit the nail on the head pretty well. Last night, I think you say the Wings definitely played more like the offense we saw last year, firing a lot better, and just hopefully they continue it up. It's a lot of effort. We've been talking about it for the last few weeks, so definitely seems to be a spark. And Alex Line coming back. That first goal he let up, a little soft, going 5-hole.
You could tell he was rusty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that, seeing that one go in right away, that was a little bit
help him, though.
A little bit cause for pause, but they put it together, and the power play looked really good, tie it up, and they really kind of took control of the game and didn't really let up. So.
When they're not playing sloppy, they actually are like a playoff team, straight up. When they actually are moving, when they were on the power play and they scored that goal and the puck was ripping around, everyone was touching it, multiple chances, they pick it up from the corner, go right back into their sets. That was so beautiful to see. And then you just see when the efforts just slightly improved and they actually are making those extra efforts to go get those loose pucks and lift sticks. And then something we haven't even seen yet, picking up guys in front of the net. This team hasn't even hit their capabilities yet in terms of how good they could be. This team still should be a playoff team if they can figure out any level of defense.
I was going to ask a question from Steve-O Baby in the chat. I don't know if you saw it, Flannel.
I did not. Go ahead and ask.
And you know what? Because what Justin just said, it kind of answers somewhat the question when you talk about a team that's still playing sloppy that came into the season with playoff aspirations. But he asks, Kool-Aid, I remember everyone saying that Derek Lalonde should be fired. Where are all of you now?
So Steve-O, I don't like the tone of that. That sounds like a victory lap after a 2-game winning streak. The reality is the Red Wings are still a team that is under 500, and they need to keep up the energy. But as Justin said, and this is something that even Darren McCarty has pointed out numerous times, there have been too many occasions at the beginning of the season, especially when it comes to the penalty kill, where it doesn't seem like they're giving enough effort or maximum effort. And you saw that from them last night. They obviously, Derek Lalonde, although there were times where it appears that he lost the locker room, maybe they're playing for him, or maybe they're just, or maybe the Red Wings as a whole just realize that they're a talented team, particularly offensively, and they're going to have to step it up. And don't get me wrong, Justin mentioned it, Chase mentioned it. There are still some holes on the Red Wings defense, which are glaring, and I don't really think there's anybody coming to save you at this point. And if the Edvinsson injury is anything serious, which we don't know about, that could be detrimental. That could be the difference between playoffs and not. So you need this offense, whether it's 5-on-5, whether it's on the power play, to keep stepping up, because it has not been good enough so far this year. You need more from guys like Kampf and Kopp and Comfer and Rasmussen and Kane and Tarasenko, and maybe just a little bit more from DeBrincat and Larkin, because I still think in the totality of the season, you're going to need to outscore teams more often than you're going to win defensive slugfests.
I agree with that, and I think you hit the nail right in the head. Cat has to be a point-per-game player.
Yes.
Straight up. He needs to be one of your top 3 or 4 scorers. You need Kane to – you don't even need a point per game from Kane. You need a 0.75 points per game. You need some sort of substance from him. And then you need just anything, literally anything, from the Velenos, the Cops, the Fishers. Like, literally, if you produce something every, 3 games, we'll be fine.
Yeah, like last.
We're not asking you to move mountains.
No,
we literally just need one of you, one line a game, to score 1 goal from the bottom 2 lines, and let the top 2 lines do what they're supposed to do, and that should be a recipe to win some games.
Yep, and you saw what happened last night with Rasmussen and Veleno getting goals. You're obviously not going to count on that every game, as Justin said, but Comfer also, he proved that he can be a reliable piece on even a power play line. So encouraging signs from last night, but they need to keep it up, because their work in climbing out of that hole is far from finished. As the late, great Kobe Bryant said, job's not finished.
Job is not finished, but I am still pulling for, 2 playoff teams, or 2 postseason teams in the LCA.
Yes.
This year. That's what I'm pulling for, man. That's the hope. I thought that we were going to have more questions and have to pull for more luck with the Detroit Pistons, but they do currently still sit in postseason positioning. But the Red Wings, man, they're trending in the right direction. Hopefully they can string together a few more wins. No matter what you believe should happen to Derek Lalonde, it would be so good to see the Detroit Red Wings have some type of playoff success.
Yes,
just taste it.
Get into the playoffs like we're going to see with the Detroit Lions. And
it's time to talk about.
Fortunately, there appears to be some reinforcements on the way in a unit that just suffered a devastating injury, and they're going to need reinforcements on. And we're going to talk about that when we get back. But first, the best coverage for Lions game day is Woodward and Main and the pregame show. Woodward and Main, hosted by the legend Terry Foster and up-and-coming rising star Matt Broder, giving you all of the best insight from guys who have been in the room and really know what they are talking about. You love to see it. And then you have to go turn into the New Holland pregame show, hosted by these extraordinary gentlemen right there. I believe that was Justin at LCA last night when Patrick Kane got that game winner, and that's okay, by the way. That's very understandable. I was like that at home. But whether it's injury insights, whether it's previewing the game, which is whether it's going around the NFL, particularly with other fellow NFC North opponents, this duo right here has really provided some of the best coverage you'll ever see when it comes to the Detroit Lions, and they're going to continue to do it, hopefully through a very long playoff run. It's the pregame show and Woodward and Main.
Hawaii football!
Get energized for the holidays during the 12 Days of Fitness at Planet Fitness. Now through December 20th, join for $1 down, $15 a month. And recharge this holiday season and beyond in the clean and spacious judgment-free zone, filled with equipment for every workout. Stay motivated with free fitness training and lots more. Celebrate the 12 days of fitness at Planet Fitness. Join for $1 down, $15 a month. Hurry, offer ends December 20th.
Big injuries, big news. Twice a week, Dr. Jeff Pierce from Michigan Sports and Spine joins Woodward Sports Network for the Injury Insider Report. Big D Energy Tuesdays at noon, and Ermanni and Edwards with Maz Thursdays at 3:30. Get expert analysis and in-depth breakdowns on the latest sports injuries from the man trusted by top athletes in the community, like D-Mac. Whether it's the Lions, Pistons, Tigers, or Red Wings, Dr. Pierce talks us through it all. Don't miss the Injury Insider Report with Dr. Jeff Pierce, your go-to source for understanding the impact of injuries on the games and players we love. Only on Woodward Sports Network. Scan the QR code on the screen or go to MichiganSportsandSpine.com to see if Dr. Jeff Pierce can help you.
Feldman Chevrolet, Michigan's #1 Chevy dealer, is kicking off the game with the best prices on all cars, trucks, and SUVs, like this 2024 Silverado for just $296 a month, or this 2025 Equinox for as low as $371 a month. Our locations in Novi, Highland, New Hudson, Livonia, and Lansing means we have the perfect Chevy right in your backyard. Get the home team advantage every day at Feldman Chevrolet, Michigan's #1 Chevy dealer.
Is that an octopus in your pants, or are you just happy to see me? See what I did there? Go Red Wings! From Octopi Experts, Woodward Sports.
Fuel your Lions fandom with the perfect cup and become a subscriber of Sabbath Coffee Roasters. Whether you're gearing up for a big game or savoring a quiet morning with Wake Up Woodward and Woodward Sports. Hey, you know what? Sabbath Coffee Roasters, they got you covered with fresh, locally roasted specialty coffee delivered right to your door. Head to www.sabbathcoffeeroasters.com. Choose your favorite roast and use code Woodward to get 25% off your first subscription order. Awake and unwind. Support local and enjoy game day right with Sabbath Coffee Roasters. Hey, and we are back, man. What up, though, people? This Wake Up Woodward. I think it's that time to what? TLB? What up, though, KG?
What up?
TLB, man. What does that mean to the people?
Talk Lions, bitch.
Shout out to our brother, Matthew Broder. That's Detroit's #1 draft pick there, though, KG.
You know it.
In the sound booth. And I think it's time to satisfy the like button.
Oh, right now?
Yeah, we about to talk Lions.
I don't know if I'm ready.
That means we got to prep. You don't just go in just...
I mean, you can go in drive, but it's all about your preference. Some people like it rough.
That's Flannel sips his water.
Hey, listen, man. Listen, it's the season of giving, man. And you know, you can give a little bit more by just tapping that like button real nice and real slow. It's okay to give. It feels so good when you just give all of yourself. Thank you.
Hey, you know what? How appropriate, man, because we got Lions on the way. We got to set the mood. Ifeatu Melifonwu, the Lions, they started the practice clock for him. It's supposed to be the expectations that he's going to be back at some point in time for the Detroit Lions. He was a full participant in Wednesday's practice as well. Reinforcements. And you know what? The last time we said reinforcements, it didn't necessarily go as planned. No. We have to be fair to that. We got to be fair to that. But Ifeatu is one of those ones that if history serves right, and if history is to repeat itself, well, we've seen this story before, right? He got back last year late in the season, and he had a pretty good end of the season. If he can do that, man, I am very optimistic, even more so, about how this team can overcome. But Flannel Sam, Ifeatu Melifonwu, the Lions are starting that practice clock, man. Just what is your first reaction to that news? And as it relates to being one of those pieces that can fill in for Carlton Davis?
I mean, my first reaction is this couldn't come soon enough. I know yesterday I ruffled a lot of feathers, and I think some people took what I said the wrong way. It's not that I didn't believe that the Lions could still make the Super Bowl. I need some pathways and some tangible things that I can look at because of the additional devastating injuries that the Lions have suffered. But when I look at Ifeatu Melifonwu coming back, or potentially coming back, I look at how good he was for the Detroit Lions last year. I look at how he's somebody that you don't know how much you miss him until you suffer an injury or until the Lions suffered an injury like what they did to Carlton Davis. And I'm not saying that Ifeatu Melifonwu is going to directly replace Carlton Davis, but I actually came up with the Flannel Glenn way that I would reshape the secondary towards the end of the season if Ifeatu Melifonwu were to come back. So, JB, if you've got that, put it on up. Yes. So I would reshift things a little bit. And I think that this is a secondary right here that can be a Super Bowl caliber secondary. I would have Amik Robertson at outside corner, because what you saw from Amik Robertson last year with the Raiders, he actually had better numbers last year with the Raiders when it comes to coverage than he currently does with the Lions this season. Last year, he had a lower passer rating allowed when targeted, a higher PFF grade, and he had 2 interceptions last year, where this year he has none. He's comfortable playing the outside. He's fearless, even though he's a smaller guy, and I wouldn't necessarily want him one-on-one against Justin Jefferson. I think he's the best you got in terms of moving on over to the outside corner. At strong safety, Ifeatu Melifonwu. I think Kool-Aid, not that you were meaning to do this, but saying that he was pretty good at the end of last year was a little bit of an understatement. I thought that he was excellent, and for the most part, I think for the whole of last season, he was excellent.
Sometimes I try to temper it just a little bit, because
fair,
it's like,
fair,
I want to go out there and
fair,
say certain things.
Fair.
But now I'm starting to realize, maybe I just, you know what, rip the whole top off and just chug all the Kool-Aid that I want, because I know, because think about it, man. Like, I've posed questions, and I'm sitting here like, man, in the beginning of the season, do we have the best running back room? Do we have the best safety tandem? Is Aiden Hutchinson the best defensive player in the year? And those were things that I felt, but I wasn't like, you know what, let me go stand on the business with it. And even with this one, it's like, I know that he was going out there and just, aside from even the coverage, wrecking people, man.
Yeah.
Just blowing them up. And it was just like, oh, we needed, because even then it was like, wow, we needed this at that point in time.
You needed it at that point, because that was there was a time last year, and we remember it, when the pass rush just wasn't getting home.
Yeah.
You had guys on the defensive line who we would like to forget. No disrespect to them. I'm not even going to name them by name, because, you know, this isn't the time for that. This is the time for moving forward. But Ifeatu Melifonwu, when Aaron Glenn was sending him on blitzes, was getting home and getting pressure at an extremely high rate. He had 3 sacks last season, 2 interceptions, including the division clinching interception. He had 2 more sacks in the playoffs. On 19 pass rush snaps, he had a pressure rate of 47.4%. He was excellent in zone coverage. He gave up only a 30 passer rating when targeted in zone coverage, and an 8% interception rate. And given the fact that Carlton Davis is out, and you even saw it at times against the Bills, maybe Aaron Glenn plays more zone and dictates his scheme more to the strengths of what he has. At free safety, you still have Kirby Joseph. Just do what you've been doing. Kirby Joseph, #1 PFF safety.
If it ain't broke.
Yeah, Kirby Joseph is the one that doesn't need to change a damn thing.
Yeah.
#1 PFF safety in the NFL. Tied for first in interception still with Xavier McKinney. And then at right cornerback, Terrion Arnold. Sort of the same thing. Continue to do what you've been doing. Terrion Arnold, I'd say his season has been a little up and down. He's had too many penalties, obviously, and he's given up too many big plays, but he is a rookie, and as long as he can be somewhat insulated, which he has been with Carlton Davis on the other side and the best safety play in the NFL out there, I think if you have Amik on the other side and still great safety play, and then Brian Branch at nickel, I think Terrion will be just fine. And Brian Branch at nickel, people forget, I know that this season he's been an absolute demon at safety, but last year he played more in as a slot corner or as a nickel corner than he did as a safety. And last season, 3 interceptions, 87 passer rating when targeted, the 15th ranked corner according to PFF in the whole bleeping NFL as a rookie. My point with all of this is that if these guys can play to the level that they're capable of. Even if they're doing a little bit of switching positions mid-season, or Ifeatu Melifonwu has to shake off a little bit of rust, I look at that secondary and I feel a little bit better about the Carlton Davis injury. Obviously, you'd still love to have Carlton Davis because he was their best corner. He was having the best season of his career, in my opinion. But there is a way. Now that I see this, now that I see that Ifeatu Melifonwu might be coming back, some of my fears are tempered a tad. I'll just say that.
Just a little bit, man. Yeah, you know what? Because I saw some people as well when the news came about Carlton Davis saying, hey, what's up with Emmanuel Mosley right away? And, I like what you have there because Amik Robertson is in game conditioning.
Yes.
And a lot of times Amik Robertson is right there in the play. Sometimes it's the limitations that he cannot control, which is his height.
Yes.
Sometimes how far out he can reach that will get him into some trouble. But the fact that he's there and he's been able to force some turnovers this year, it's something that he tries to really hang his hat on. And I like the kind of bulldog, that kind of pit bull mentality that he has. I love that. And then if Mosley is right, then you're able to kind of rotate him in and get him some reps as we get closer and closer to the playoffs. And if Mosley proves to be anywhere close to where Brad Holmes thought, then at that point in time, you deal with your first, well, at that point in time, I guess it would be second world problem, but still first world for the Detroit Lions.
Well, and that's the thing, and that's why I brought up potential rotation pieces like Kindle Vildor, and this is something I think in which myself, Easy, and Kool-Aid are in lockstep on, and KG as well. He gets too much slander. Is he great? Do you want him as your outside corner for 60 snaps a game? Absolutely not. But if he's somebody who has to come in if there's an injury or has to rotate in from time to time, he has played good football for the Detroit Lions. He's also played some bad football, but he has played good football. Emmanuel Mosley's another one. We can't count on his health, but the last time he was healthy, he was a damn good corner. And remember this too, Brandon Joseph, when Brian Branch was kicked out of the Packers game at Lambeau Field, Brandon Joseph had to come in and he made 6 tackles. Not saying you want to see those backups for heavy snaps or anything like that, but if they are backups, if you have the secondary that I so eloquently presented, if I do say so myself earlier, I don't hate it.
I like it. I like it. And you know what? This is a good question here. Maybe we can expand on this even more in a segment tomorrow in our breakdown. But 14 Grit and KG, I want your take on this as well as Flannel and anyone else in the crew. But he said 43% snaps for Za'Darius is too low. And that was something I meant to send you that too. I know all of us have seen it. I know all of us probably like, yeah, we should have probably talked about this by now. And that was a question I wanted to be able to ask the ball knowers. What's going on there? Is this a strategy where now they've lost their depth, and so they have to kind of reduce the snaps to keep Za'Darius as healthy as they can? Because it's not like he's a young spring chicken.
Yeah. I mean, he ain't the oldest either, but I think the coaching staff, like, they had insight as to why they did that. Whether it's he's not the healthiest right now and they wanted to limit his snaps, whether it's, maybe they saw something in the Bills' offensive line that they could exploit, so they wanted to maybe use a different defensive package going against that offensive line. It could be a number of things, but I don't think we should read too much into it because he will be out there as much as they need him to be out there. And hopefully, you expect him to make plays, but I think it's just something internally that either they knew he wasn't 100% going into the game, or it was something schematically that they were looking at. But ultimately, with this Ify move, I think this is perfect. And Sam, I love what you did there with the lineups, because having Ify back just provides so much, like, in terms of what AG can draw up as far as disguising blitzes, different blitz packages, and making sure we generate a pass rush, because that is Ify's greatest strength, is going after the quarterback. And he's good in coverage, don't get me wrong, but him in spot duty in terms of, crowding that line and making things hard on a quarterback when he's trying to read the play, I think that's going to be huge for this team. Also, it frees up Brian Branch for whatever you want him to do. I love that Sam had him at nickel corner. I think that's a great spot for him. He can also play the outside. Let's say if Amik, you want to maybe, his size, you don't trust his size going against a certain receiver, you can play him on the outside. And also you can interchange Emmanuel Mosley for Amik as well. So the amount of things you can do defensively, having an Ify back, is just going to help the Lions defense, because they need to draw up as much pressure as they can possibly get at this point.
Yeah, and I think that leads to them having obviously a higher opportunity to have a higher chance to get turnovers as well. if you have Iffy out there on the field, I would assume that the opposing offense is going to believe that they are blitzing or that they're going to bring a rush or something aggressive. And no matter what they do, if you get the proper pressure home, you can force a bad throw, a lower percentage throw. But even if he decides on that play to stay home, especially with the types of safeties and coverage that we have in that secondary, I do believe that no matter what decision, if he's out there on the field, it just increases the Lions' opportunity to get a turnover, which is something they have struggled to get. Now, we know that something that they've utilized to be able to overcome these losses up to this point has been forcing turnovers, including in that Houston Texans game. So, it was huge. It was. I forget there was another game as well. What was the game where Meek punched out?
I know what you're talking about.
I
forget
remember
the
the
game.
game. I forget the game, but he punched out a couple.
Yeah, it might have been one of those where they blew him out anyway. Yeah. But yeah, no, against Houston. But the only thing though is, and this isn't me trying to take it back to negative town because others are capable. Who was probably the MVP of that Houston game defensively? Carlton Davis.
Yep.
He was the one that made the 2 picks. He was the one that came out of nowhere. Remember that one play that looked like it was developing into a sure Texans touchdown? A sure Texans touchdown where Tank Dell was running so wide open that even the Texans fans were like, "Oh my God, do you see him, CJ?" And then CJ just lackadaisically threw up a pass, and then Carlton Davis came out of nowhere. I'm not saying that Amik and Terrion or whoever else is incapable of that. It's just Carlton Davis is a big loss, and you need. And I think this is a time with Iffy coming back where you might need to shuffle things in the secondary room.
No, absolutely. And 14 grid in the chat. Lions have to stop the run first. Totally agree with that. That is one of the biggest strengths of this Lions team. But that's where you're going to have to rely on DJ Reader and Levi Onwuzurike. Shout out to the heavyweights last night, man. They provided a list of Lions players that absolutely need to step up, and Levi Onwuzurike was one of the people on that list. You're going to have to rely on them in the middle to make plays. And, of course, Josh Paschal and Zadarius Smith to seal off the edges, man. But if you can get that from your front four in terms of, controlling the run game without having to bring linebackers up all the time, then that also bodes well for the Lions.
Yeah,
defense.
because some of the I've noticed when the running backs get into that second layer of the defense, the tackles just haven't been as stout as they were earlier in the season. And you recognize that when you lose an Alex Anzalone and a Malcolm Rodriguez, we talk about the effects of those things. I'm sorry, what were we talking about with Malcolm Rodriguez just a couple weeks ago, man, when he was still playing? It was just how crazy he was at getting that pressure, getting that rush, and when that running back was in his vicinity, that's where the running back stopped.
Yep.
Same thing with Alex Anzalone.
Yeah.
But now I've noticed with the linebackers sometimes there's just a split second too late on something, and then that one little cut allows the running backs now to gash us for a good 6 or 7 or 8 yards. And that's why I do agree with that. Levi Onwuzurike was called one of those $20 million men by Zeitler in the offseason as well. And you do want to see those guys in the middle of that line be able to get, be able to clog things up a little bit more so that those linebackers who are going to be playing well above where they should be, because I want to be fair to them, they're not our starters necessarily, except for Jack Campbell.
Right.
That those guys, and even the guys that are going to be now playing more snaps in the secondary, I just want to make sure those guys have every little bit of help that they need, because it hasn't worked the last couple weeks.
Yeah, honestly, Reader and Onwuzurike might be two of the biggest catalysts in the Lions getting as far as we want them to, which is winning the Super Bowl, because they are two that you should be able to count on. Because you're right, no disrespect to these guys, but there's a reason why people like Quan Alexander and David Long Jr. were on the proverbial scrap heap. Mm-hmm. I'm not saying that they can't be good for the Lions, but coming into a new system right away, you're not going to be as productive as, say, Alex Anzalone and Malcolm Rodriguez were. So it's all about the Lions getting another player healthy like Ifeatu Melifonwu and integrating him, and guys stepping up who are still there, guys who we know are good football players and have been good football players for the Lions stepping up, i.e. Levi O and Jack Campbell and DJ Reader and Brian Branch and Kirby Joseph. But out of all the players that did step up on Sunday against the Bills, right at the top of the list was Mr. Jared Goff, our fearless leader and our quarterback. And he sat down with Dan Miller and gave, I thought, some really nice insight into the Lions and their mindset and to what he kind of thought about the game. And we're going to play that for you when we come back, and we are going to react to it. And I want you guys to react to it in the chat as well, because it is, as Lions fans, a Dan Miller and Jared Goff interview, that is porn. Woo! That is straight up porn.
Listen, man, because you already know, man, that one Jared Goff interview still lives in my head real free at home. You already know I'm going to be here for a while.
Right.
And like KG's been saying, bro, knock on wood, as long as Jared Goff is standing, bro, you know what?
Still got a
down
chance.
The field. Or as you say it,
forward down the motherfucking field. Y'all know what it is.
And I'm so fired up, so pumped up right now. We might have a special guest tomorrow.
Ooh.
We might have a special guest tomorrow.
When I'm not here,
oh, come on, bro.
Yeah, I'm not going to be here.
Because we got to start the vote for Cade Cunningham All-Star campaign.
Oh,
so we might have a special guest.
Well,
in
if
here
I got a
tomorrow.
V-Mix in for that, let me know.
We'll
figure it out.
Let's rock, man. Got a good text. But walk in any Lady Jane's haircuts for men today. Open 7 days a week. Sit back, relax, and enjoy a $20 haircut special, scalp massage, hot lather.
There
Tell
you go again on that freaky shit.
Hot lather neck shave and a hot towel treatment from one of our talented stylists. Take advantage of our $20 haircut special. Just scan that QR code somewhere on the screen, and when you do, you get your coupon today.
No leather.
Lady Jane's, stop laughing, JV. Lady Jane's haircuts for me. Open 7 days a week.
Type shit.
Walk-ins are always welcome. It's wicked awesome.
And getting your hair cut, you can play some bets with Caesars Sportsbook, the official sportsbook of us here at Woodward Sports. Scan that QR code on the screen. Use code word Woodward1000. You can deposit up to $1,000, and all you have to do is place a minimum of a $20 bet. And if it doesn't hit, they'll throw it right back into your account with no questions asked. It's the Caesars Sportsbook, the official sportsbook of us here at Woodward Sports.
Buy more leather chaps.
Get energized for the holidays during the 12 Days of Fitness at Planet Fitness. Now through December 20th, join for $1 down, $15 a month. And recharge this holiday season and beyond in the clean and spacious judgment-free zone, filled with equipment for every workout. Stay motivated with free fitness training and lots more. Celebrate the 12 Days of Fitness at Planet Fitness. Join for $1 down, $15 a month. Hurry! Offer ends December 20th.
Big injuries, big news. Twice a week, Dr. Jeff Pierce from Michigan Sports and Spine joins Woodward Sports Network for the Injury Insider Report. Big D Energy Tuesdays at noon, and Ermanni and Edwards with Maz Thursdays at 3:30. Get expert analysis and in-depth breakdowns on the latest sports injuries from the man trusted by top athletes in the community, like D-Mac. Whether it's the Lions, Pistons, Tigers, or Red Wings, Dr. Pierce talks us through it all. Don't miss the Injury Insider Report with Dr. Jeff Pierce, your go-to source for understanding the impact of injuries on the games and players we love. Only on Woodward Sports Network. Scan the QR code on the screen or go to MichiganSportsandSpine.com to see if Dr. Jeff Pierce can help you.
Walk into any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men today. Open 7 days a week. Sit back, relax, and enjoy precision haircut, scalp massage, hot leather neck shave, and hot towel treatment from one of our talented stylists. Step up your game this season and take advantage of our $20 haircut special. Scan the QR code and get your coupon today. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, the ultimate haircut experience. Open 7 days a week. Walk-ins always welcome. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, it's wicked awesome.
Game is won in the trenches, and our big fellas don't mess around. The Woodward Heavyweights on Woodward Sports.
Attention sports fans, don't miss out on expert sports injury insights with Dr. Jeff Pierce from Michigan Sports and Spine. Join Dr. Pierce every Tuesday on Big D Energy and every Thursday on Ermanni and Edwards, where he's offering top-notch injury advice. You got to trust, you got to D-Mac trust, and you know what? A lot of the things that he's been saying, it's been right, and he would know because he is an expert. And you know what? He just broke down how the rehab recovery is going for Alexander Zaloni, and he also talked about the injury that Alim McNeil suffered. And so we're going to have that content that's hitting social. Some of it has already been posted as well, so make sure you go and keep your eyes peeled for that. But he's here to keep you in the game and performing at your best. That's Dr. Jeff Pierce. For more information, visit MichiganSportsandSpine.com or call 248-426-9944. Hey, what up, though, people? We are back. It is Wake Up Woodward, and you know what? I just want to hear from Jared Goff and the legend Dan Miller.
Yes.
That's just where I'm at right now. Get me more fired up because Dan Campbell has already knocked it out the park. And now it feels like they're trying to send us to the place where what? Space Machine, Tangerine, Taller Your Love is up there on the moon? Let's rock, man. Let's hear from JT.
Say hello to Matt Eberflus while you're there. Anywho, go ahead.
All right, Jared, just start here. A night to kind of sit on that one. Just give me your thoughts coming out of that game.
Yeah, I thought we ran into a team that played pretty dang well against us, and we didn't play as well as we can. And they came out and got after us early there, and I think that was kind of the difference. Was early in that game we were sluggish on offense, and we're playing from behind the whole game.
Yeah, when you have a situation where you don't lose for 3 months, do you kind of forget what that feels like, and that stings a little bit more when it comes back and bites you a little bit?
Yeah, I think it's just a reality check. Nobody in this league is immortal, and you can be beaten on any given week, and have to make sure you come with your A game no matter who it is. Of course, it's a great opponent. We were ready to play, but they came out and gave it to us.
You touched on it a little bit there. We have seen you guys this year where you have come out, scored fast, and kept scoring.
Yep.
When you're chasing the entire game, how much pressure does that put on you?
Yeah, sure, it makes things a bit harder, but we've won games that way, and I don't feel like that game was truly over until it was over. I think, if we could have stole that possession there on one of those onside kicks, we have a real chance at winning that thing, and just unfortunately weren't able to.
When you have 521 yards, 30 first downs, score 42 points, there's got to be some positives to take out of there. What did you see from the offense that you liked in this game?
Yeah, I thought we battled. I really did, and especially up front, the pass pro. You drop back that many times to pass it, and I thought they pass pro'd really, really well, and we were able to move the ball down the field at times pretty good. But again,
and we apologize for any audio or technical issues on that clip. But you know what? Jared Goff got me fired up. I don't know if you all have gotten an opportunity to see that clip, and we'll make sure that if we can get the audio straight and play it maybe sometime before the end of the show that you guys are able to hear that. But just what were your first initial takeaways from hearing this sit down with Jared Goff? Just really quickly, for me, just what stood out, how cool, calm, and collected he is. And I keep hearing people say that. They say it's not, when you see, when Jared Goff was going through some of the bad, people were saying it looked like he didn't care. And people were saying, no. Jared Goff is the type of guy who can come through any situation. And I remember Dan Campbell talked about that too at the introductory press conference. So just that was one of the major things that I took away. But what about you, brother?
Yeah, and he's certainly not rattled. He's certainly not getting up in arms over a loss. And I also like the way that he was able to break down some things. There's one thing, I'm not sure if we got to it or if anybody heard it, where he was actually very complimentary of the pass protection, which I know there was some issues with how the offensive line played in terms of run blocking, or even occasionally in the pass pro, both this week and the week before. But Jared Goff was actually very complimentary of his offensive line. And when you look at the offensive line, even though they didn't have their best day, even though the run game was virtually non-existent, which some of that had to do with the fact they were down so early, when you'd have to drop back and throw the ball 59 times, you're going to get hit a little bit. 59 dropbacks, 10 quarterback hits, 3 sacks. It's a little bit more than we would like, but I think it was very cool and nice for Jared Goff to understand that and still be complimentary of the offensive line, which for the most part during his career with the Lions has been the strength of the team and has protected Jared Goff beautifully. So I love that he is still showing love to the offensive line, even when they didn't have their best day.
Yeah, definitely, because right now we talk about that motivation of how do you get your team to that next level? And even beyond that, how do you keep your team from slipping? How do you keep your team from doubting? Yeah. How do you keep your team from seeing what should be the logical, okay, we've lost all these players, we should have this type of regression? How do you keep them going and playing above and beyond? Because that's what they have done this far. So anybody who questions if they can continue to do that, that's where I definitely go and say, you know what precedents have they shown already? Have they shown us that they can't get through this type of stuff? Have they shown us that?
No.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. All they've shown me is resiliency. All they've shown me already is exceeding our expectations. All they've shown me up to this point is getting to these milestones faster than a lot of us predicted. And that's where when I see these guys starting to talk, when I see these guys, Dan Campbell, when I see Jared Goff, when all the others kind of smaller interviews and such, these guys are sitting around and I feel like they think we're crazy. Like, wait, what? because I mean, you heard Dan. Like, what? No. You hear Jared Goff. And I want to be able to, should we give it another chance?
Yeah, I think it was the left-right channel situation as to why some people could hear some part of the audio and some people can hear some part of the audio. But I think most of the people can actually hear the clip regularly just fine. So I think if you want to take another crack at it, it should be okay.
All right.
Yes, let's try that.
We can give it a shot. Yeah, here.
All right, Jared, just start here. A night to kind of sit on that one. Just give me your thoughts coming out of that game.
Yeah, I thought we ran into a team that played pretty dang well against us, and we didn't play as well as we can. And you know, they came out and got after us early there, and I think that was kind of the difference. Was early in that game we were sluggish on offense, and we're playing from behind the whole game.
Yeah, when you have a situation where you don't lose for 3 months, do you kind of forget what that feels like, and that stings a little bit more when it comes back and bites you a little bit?
Yeah, I think it's just a reality check. You know, nobody in this league is immortal, and you can be beaten on any given week, and have to make sure you come with your A game no matter who it is. Of course, it's a great opponent. We were ready to play, but they came out and gave it to us.
You touched on it a little bit there. We have seen you guys this year where you have come out, scored fast, and kept scoring.
Yep.
When you're chasing the entire game, how much pressure does that put on you?
Yeah, sure, it makes things a bit harder, but we've won games that way, and I don't feel like that game was truly over until it was over. I think, you know, if we could have stole that possession there on one of those onside kicks, you know, we have a real chance at winning that thing, and just unfortunately weren't able to.
When you have 521 yards, 30 first downs, score 42 points, there's got to be some positives to take out of there. What did you see from the offense that you liked in this game?
Yeah, I thought we battled. I really did, and especially up front, the pass pro. You drop back that many times to pass it, and I thought they pass pro'd really, really well, and we were able to move the ball down the field at times pretty good. But again, it's just a little bit too little too late, and started off too slow to give ourselves a chance.
Yeah, no coincidence probably when you look at the 2 losses this year. Both of them you've thrown over 50 passes. You kind of lose that balance that makes you guys what you are as an offense when you're in those situations.
Sure, yeah, that's not really typically a winning formula, and I'm sure I've won a couple doing it that way. But yeah, this year, you know, it's not typically how we want to do it.
The run game, second consecutive week where you're under 4 yards a carry. This one might have been dictated a little bit by scoreboard, but do you see anything in there that maybe you need to get down on some details going forward about the run game?
Yeah, I think that's all it is. It's just execution and details. It's not stuff that we can't do or haven't done in the past, and just gotta dial that in a little bit.
All right, touchdown to Big Skip. I know it's a lot more fun if you win the game, but just some thoughts on seeing 6 foot
cool.
9 inches and putting his head down and getting those final yards.
That was cool. Yeah, it was one we had worked on all week, and it wasn't like we were trying to force him the ball. It just happened, you know, that was the way that played out, and he made a great play.
You lose a couple more guys on defense. It's tough. Do you look at that and say, like the Green Bay game, okay, there's going to be a little bit more on us going forward. If they lose a couple more guys, we've got to be able to fill in some of that void.
You know, maybe a little bit. Yeah, but I don't. I feel like, you know, the Green Bay game was that way because those guys were brand new. They were fresh, and now they're kind of in the system a little bit. So they'll continue to get better and play better and gel more. And so yeah, I think what you won't find from us or from me is any excuse making. You know, we've got the guys we need here to make things happen, and our goals are still right out in front of us, and got to win this next one.
Dan's always going to put it on himself, and he came out of there and said, I didn't prepare the team, and I didn't feel like I had them matching the intensity of the other side. Did you see any of that?
Yeah, I don't think it's on him. It's on us to make sure we're ready to play. Sure, he's the head coach, and I know I love when he takes accountability, but no, we got to get ourselves ready to play a little bit, and certainly early on in that game, I think was kind of the difference. They came out and kind of punched us in the mouth, and we responded. We did, but it just was too little too late.
One thing about this team, and nobody else in this league can say this, you haven't lost 2 games in a row in over 2 years. So what's the key to keeping that going, and what's the key that you guys have been able to always bounce back from losses?
We respond well. We do. This group responds. We know how to respond. We know what it takes. I think Dan leads the charge in that way, and we will respond this week.
Yes, and that was the Dan Miller interview with Jared Goff. Thank you to our friends at Fox 2 for putting this on, and thank you to Dan Miller, friend of the show, for asking some great questions, and I think getting some incredible insight from both of those 2 extraordinary Lions figures. And I think one of the takeaways I get from this interview is that I think they both recognize that what they did on Sunday was not necessarily a winning formula. You don't want Jared Goff throwing the ball 59 times, even though he was highly effective. You certainly don't want to get down by 14 early. You don't want to have a 21-point third quarter deficit, and you don't want to have a 17-point fourth quarter deficit. However, I think we also recognize that if this Lions team is going to get where we ultimately want them to go, which is win the Super Bowl, I think the pass game is going to have to be elite. I think they're going to have to pick up a running game, which is going to suffer a little bit because David Montgomery being out, although I still love Gibbs. They're going to have to pick up a defense which, regardless of how much they can next man up this, when you miss Carlton Davis, when you miss Aleem McNeil, when you miss guys like Hutchinson still and Anzalone and Malcolm Rodriguez, etc., 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 it's going to be on the pass offense to really be elite and stay elite. And honestly, even though it was playing from behind, Jared Goff had 494 yards and 5 touchdowns. I'm never going to knock a quarterback who puts up a stat line like that. Amon-Ra St. Brown set his career high in receiving yards in a game. Sam Laporta had his first 100-yard game of the season. Tim Patrick and J-Mo both had touchdown receptions, and Jahmyr Gibbs set his career high for receiving yards in a game. All of those guys are healthy. All of those guys are hopefully going to be there for the playoff run, and the pass pro, Jared Goff was very complimentary of. So I think this passing offense is going to have a burden that maybe you didn't think it would have with a fully healthy team, but they showed against the Bills that even if it's in if it's in an effort where they're coming back, where they have no run game, they can be elite and deadly, and they were on Sunday.
Definitely. And again, I take away from this thing the confidence, not just in his squad, but in their ability as well. So if they feel like, you know what, we just had an off night, we understand the level that we can get to, that excites me because we're looking for that next level for this squad. And where do they go and they get it? And they say, you know what, coach is going to take the bullet for us, but it's not on them to make sure that we leave it all out there on the floor. And when you're mixing and matching, you got new players coming into the system and things of that nature. I can understand how a little bit of the rhythm, a little bit of the chemistry, a little bit of where to be, and understanding how your teammates play. Some of that stuff is going to take a little bit of time to get used to, and I get that. But knowing, hey, you know what, this next game up, how fired up is this squad going to be? I don't think that they're going to have that same type of complaint or issue where Dan Campbell's going to have to step out in front and say, hey, you know what, we didn't have our team ready to the level to meet the energy of the other squad. And it was visible. It was noticeable in that first quarter. I was like, man, this Bills team looks like us, and we don't look like us right now, on defense especially. But offensively, when you talk about Jared Goff, that's where I would like to see the ball a little bit more in his hands and the game decidedly more on his arm. But when you still got a Jahmyr Gibbs back there, who is your 1A back, and it already began to prove that, first guy to 1,000 yards on his squad, man, that's where you just say, you know what, let's go. First guy to 1,000 rushing yards on the squad too.
You absolutely need more from the run game moving forward. Like, Jared Goff is capable of carrying an offense, but a more balanced attack is the key to the Lions winning playoff games and winning a Super Bowl, because we also saw on Sunday the Buffalo Bills are just a different animal than any other team that they've faced up to this point, and probably different than other teams that they will face up to the Super Bowl, except maybe the Philadelphia Eagles. So it was a tough game. I think they figured some things out. They figured out what they shouldn't do, and they're also in the process of figuring out how they are going to continue to overcome this array of injuries, which is going to be tough. But I will say this, and I know yesterday some might say I had a little bit of a meltdown, but I thought I was more measured than you guys are giving me credit for, but I'm never going to convince you guys. Seeing what with Ifeatu Melifonwu being at least his practice clock, and he fully practiced on Wednesday, and seeing Jared Goff and kind of remembering that the passing offense is still healthy and still performed greatly on Sunday, those could be two of the keys to the Lions season not derailing and them still winning the Super Bowl.
Yeah, and Real K77 says, I see Jahmyr Gibbs having a career rushing game against Chicago.
Yep.
I could see
Shout
that.
out K77,
that's
my guy.
I see 14 Grit in the chat. Gibbs 5.7 yards per carry. It's gonna be interesting to see how they get who I'm dubbing Weapon X, man, how they get him involved in this offense now, because I do believe that the Lions, they're gonna have to be creative. Find a way to not put yourself necessarily up against it with the fourth downs, and I believe they do have the offense to make that happen, even without David Montgomery. So it's gonna be interesting and fun to see how they do this thing against the Bears. I am calling for a drubbing, but we will we'll get to the predictions on tomorrow's show.
Oh, we will get to that, and I think the Lions will find out that the Bears are a lesser opponent than the Buffalo Bills.
You don't say.
Yeah, right. I know, right? Hard-hitting analysis from Flannel Sam right there. But that's a good thing. That's a good thing to really make sure that they don't let one loss turn into two, and they still have that motivation. And you heard Dan Miller say it as well, that they haven't lost 2 games in a row since early October of 2022.
Bro, how long have we just made that a part of our show? It's almost effectively our unofficial slogan. They haven't lost back-to-back games in a long time. Not just this year, not just last year, but the second half of the season before that as well, when they were 8-2.
8-2. And you know what, guys? Do you want to play Would You Rather? Who wants to play Would You Rather?
Let's do it.
I would love to play Would You Rather.
I would love to play Would You Rather as long as people don't think that when I tried to convince KG that Cade wasn't an all-star, I was arguing the point, not my actual take.
You're
okay?
right.
Disclaimer.
Oh, no. This one's a different game.
That
was proving wrong.
Yes.
Wrong game.
He's still in shock.
No, either way. I've been getting shit for that the last couple of days since I've been here in chat.
Damn.
It's been pissing me off. I was arguing against the point. I love Cade.
Yeah.
Favorite player in the Pistons.
Well, obviously you are just an unabashed Cade hater, and that's the only thing we can take from that if we're going to apply standards equally. But anywho.
The thoughts, views, and opinions expressed in the Prove Me Wrong game are not our actual thoughts and views.
Absolutely, absolutely. And I'll defend Justin. He's not a Cade hater. We're all Cade lovers in the house today.
Yeah.
But you know what?
Pause. Vote for Cade! Vote for Cade All-Star. Anywhere you can do that, vote Cade Cunningham.
But do you know what I believe 4 out of the 6 people in this room also love? Jars Cannabis.
You goddamn right.
Yes, we do love Jars
That's where you
Cannabis.
can get that D-Mac pack.
Yes, it's also where you can get
Had
that
some of that
D-Mac pack
yesterday.
as well, too. But all right, Woodward sports fans, whether you're hitting the game or just chilling, Jars Cannabis has you covered. Jars is home to Michigan's largest line of recreational cannabis products. They've got 27 locations across the state, so they are repping Michigan in a very big way. 9 locations right now in Metro Detroit, so there's one close by you. But don't fear if you live in Grand Rapids, Madison Heights, or Milan, Michigan, because get ready, because a Jars Cannabis is coming your way as well. It's Jars Cannabis. You want to get high?
Feldman Chevrolet, Michigan's #1 Chevy dealer, is kicking off the game with the best prices on all cars, trucks, and SUVs, like this 2024 Silverado for just $296 a month, or this 2025 Equinox for as low as $371 a month. Our locations in Novi, Highland, New Hudson, Livonia, and Lansing means we have the perfect Chevy right in your backyard. Get the home team advantage every day at Feldman Chevrolet, Michigan's #1 Chevy dealer.
Big injuries, big news. Twice a week, Dr. Jeff Pierce from Michigan Sports and Spine joins Woodward Sports Network for the Injury Insider Report. Big D Energy Tuesdays at noon, and Ermanni and Edwards with Maz Thursdays at 3:30. Get expert analysis and in-depth breakdowns on the latest sports injuries from the man trusted by top athletes in the community, like D-Mac. Whether it's the Lions, Pistons, Tigers, or Red Wings, Dr. Pierce talks us through it all. Don't miss the Injury Insider Report with Dr. Jeff Pierce, your go-to source for understanding the impact of injuries on the games and players we love. Only on Woodward Sports Network. Scan the QR code on the screen or go to MichiganSportsandSpine.com to see if Dr. Jeff Pierce can help you.
Walk into any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men today. Open 7 days a week. Sit back, relax, and enjoy precision haircut, scalp massage, hot leather neck shave, and hot towel treatment from one of our talented stylists. Step up your game this season and take advantage of our $20 haircut special. Scan the QR code and get your coupon today. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, the ultimate haircut experience. Open 7 days a week. Walk-ins always welcome. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, it's wicked awesome.
When you give to the Salvation Army, your donation makes it possible to serve our communities most vulnerable. 24 hours a day, 365. The Salvation Army Metro Detroit's 2024 Red Kettle Christmas campaign is going on right now, and even though the goal is high, anything that you can give can always help. Your contribution will help provide love beyond Christmas to individuals who need food, shelter, or just compassion. Scan that QR code on screen, or you can go to donate.sagreatlace.org so you can donate today.
Yes, and then Les Stanford. Are you overdue for a new car? Beat the holiday rush and get an amazing deal from Les Stanford Chevrolet. Right now, a Blazer EV 2LT with all-wheel drive is only $149 per month. Or check out the Equinox EV LT for only $169 per month. Get to Les Stanford today or click on the QR code on the screen and check out our massive inventory. Don't forget, Les Stanford has Cadillac, Buick, and GMC as well. Les Stanford in Dearborn and Ferndale, lesstanford.com.
Hey, and we are back. It is Wake Up Woodward Chat family. Thank you guys for kicking off the day with the WUW Crew. Hopefully it's been a good start to your day. It's been a great one for us. Go ahead and smash that like button to support. It goes a long way, not just for our show, but for the entire network as well. So I hope you guys stay tapped in with Big D Energy after our show, Ermanni and Edwards, and Wake Up Woodward. But now, it is time for Would You Rather.
It is, man.
What up, though, KG?
The name of the game is Would You Rather. I will provide two situations and or scenarios, and you have to pick one, and then you can get a short explanation as to why you made that choice. Are we all ready to go?
Can't wait.
All right. Some of these are based on hypotheticals, so just bear with the boy. And also, this is a very Lions and Pistons centric Would You Rather. So, with that being said, first one, would you rather, if things hold up the way they are and the Lions complete the mission, would you rather the Lions face the Rams in the divisional round or face the Vikings in the divisional round?
The Vikings or the Rams, you say?
In the divisional round, yes.
Ooh, jeez. Would you rather?
Would you rather face the Vikings or the Rams in the divisional round of the playoffs?
I feel like it's tough to beat a team 3 times in a row.
It is.
But if there's a team that could do it, it could be the Lions.
I mean, technically, we'd be going for 3 against the Rams, too. We beat them in the playoffs, beat them first game of the year, and now you got to beat them again.
You know what? Let's go with the Vikings. I just beat them again. Just because they're fans.
Okay.
Just because. I have no beef with LA Rams fans. Let's go with the Vikings.
I would rather face the Vikings, and it has to do with, and I'm a Sam Darnold guy, don't get me wrong, but if you give Matthew Stafford a healthy Cooper Kupp, a healthy Puka Nacua, a healthy offensive line, and a healthy Kyron Williams, that is a team that I believe could be one of the more dangerous 10-7 teams you'll ever see. So give me the Vikings over the Rams.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. I'd rather be cold like Minnesota.
Hey,
Sorry, all right.
Shout out
Anyway.
to Aaron Arnold.
I don't think Minnesota is going to be able to cut it in the playoffs. I have no faith in Sam Darnold, and I'm with Flannel. I don't want it with the beat-up cornerback room. The last thing I want to see is Cooper Kupp and Puka Nacua going to all hell and just bombing us for 200 yards.
Yeah.
It's crazy that we've seen the Lions really beat these two teams more than one time, even though they have such great receiving cores, and our secondaries have been largely decimated to some degree when we've played them.
Ain't that something? You love it.
Chase, you got anything on it?
I'd rather take the Rams just because it'd be more fun to pour salt in the Matt Stafford wound. You know,
Yeah.
you can't win these
I knew somebody was going to bring that element up, for sure. Jay Bizzle.
Man, come on. Look, I feel like the wound has already been stomped on already with the Rams. So give me the Vikings once again. As Sean said it before, the Vikings quarterback is Sam Darnold. Let's be real. That shoe is going to drop, and you guys are going to realize that, oh, you know what? Our quarterback really does suck. So give me the Vikings.
This is a tough one for me, man, because both games have potential to be shootouts. I think I want the Rams, though, because ultimately the Vikings defense is what I'm worried about here. The Vikings do have a very, very good defense, led by Brian Flores. And just the state of our team right now, I feel like we would fare better against a Rams squad who has been very suspect on defense and that has been relatively beaten up throughout the year. So I think I would pick the Rams. Let's go for the trifecta on Stafford, man. Why not? But
I get it.
The next one, and would you rather, and like I said, this is hypothetical, so bear with me. In the event Monty is able to come back and play, would you rather play Monty in week 18 against the Vikings with the 1 seed in division on the line, or would you rest him until the playoffs?
I'd probably rest them into the playoffs.
That could either be 1 or 2 weeks. Because if you don't get that Vikings game, you playing that very next week. So keep that in mind.
That's a tough one, but I would rest them into the playoffs. I really would. I got to go with them. I believe that Jahmyr Gibbs is going to be somebody who can prove he can shoulder the burden of responsibility. And right now, it's one of those things with that running back room where it is, do it for Monty. So, you know what? Give him a little bit more rest.
Yeah.
Get to those 2 games that you have to have. Lock down that first seed. I think they can still do it right now. So, give him the rest.
It's do it for everybody at this point.
Yeah.
Do it for Monty. Do it for Hutch. Do it everybody, man. But go ahead, Sam. What you feel? Would you play Monty in Week 18 against the Vikings with the 1 seed and division on the line, or would you rest him until the playoffs?
If he is capable of helping you win, you play him. With all due respect, I think the people who are saying rest him until the playoffs and potentially risk losing to the Vikings, that's a little bit of the Cowboy Rambo Lions fan going, you go all out for the 1 seed because it is important. You need that rest. You need 2 home playoff games and then the Super Bowl.
Caveat, though, where my mind instantly went was Aleem McNeil, who just being back doesn't mean healthy, and then we lost him for the year.
Right.
And so that's where my mind is like, if we can get him a little bit more rest, because I don't think him being back is him being healthy.
Sure, and that's why I said at the beginning, if he can help the team, if he's going out there to be like a decoy, then what good is what does that help the team anyway? But if he can help the team win, you play him. You go all out for the 1 seed, and then you rest, and then you have 2 home games, and then the Super Bowl.
That's right.
Justin.
I mean, I'm a big of a Monty fan as anyone, but I mean, I trust I was gonna say Ja, but
yeah.
Jahmyr Gibbs.
I mean, that's his nickname,
yeah,
Ja. So
I trust Jahmyr Gibbs wholeheartedly, and I'm just so excited to see him carry the weight in this offense because he truly is electric, and you drafted him to do so.
Yeah.
And you're finally gonna get to see him do it for a multiple game stretch, not just a one-off.
Chase.
What's the question?
All right, so if Monty is available to play, would you play him in Week 18 against the Vikings with the 1 seed and division on the line, or would you rest him until the playoffs?
I'd rest him. I mean, we played Minnesota earlier in the season. Gibbs was the more efficient runner. Monty had the fumble, so I mean, not that he's probably going to fumble again, but
Yeah.
I mean, Gibbs played better against Minnesota last time, so
Yeah.
What would say he's not going to do it again?
I feel you. Gibbs had a fumble as well. Just want to point that out. But JB.
Jumbo boobies.
I'm probably going to fake out the Vikings. So I'm going to suit up Montgomery, but I'm not going to play him.
Nice. I like it. I like the strategy.
Play mind games with the Vikings just a little bit. I definitely think Gibbs and the rest of his backfield has this covered. We should be fine if this scenario actually plays out how it would be. But yeah, I suit up Monty, fake him out, and not play him.
1 seed and the division on the line, dog. He might have to play some snaps. Now, he wouldn't play his normal amount of snaps, but if we get down near that goal line, if we're within 3 yards of the goal line, expect to see some Monty, man, because if he's able to play, then I feel like he can't injure himself any more than he already has. So at that point, I think you need to utilize his best skill set, and that's shrugging off tackles and getting in the end zone, man. So I think I would play him in that situation because you talking about a 1 to 2 week difference in rest. It's not really going to matter. His shit is torn regardless, man. But Kool-Aid, can you read off what's in the chat? Because I'm sure there's some interesting responses to this.
Yeah, let me see here. I'm seeing there was a slew of rest him. So 14 Grit, No Monty, Let Him Heal, Chuck Brewer, rest him, Xavier D, rest him, L, rest till playoffs, Randall Smalls, I would play him. Steve DeYoung, rest until the playoffs. Tabitha Gable, rest till playoffs. We need him in the bowl. Dante151, play him Week 18. So the majority of it is rest. Patrick Ofiara says rest. He a dog. You know what? Let me see here. The keys to wisdom. I bet the Vikings are out of the North race in Week 18, which is something that.
Let's hope.
I was about to say that would take a nosedive though, right? Well, we'll figure out the tie-breaking scenarios as time goes on.
And Mark Doyle is exactly right. If Monty plays, he can tear an ACL. Obviously, he'll have as much bracing as possible, and the power is not necessarily going to be all there. Some of the shiftiness.
Yeah.
But it's
but they didn't put him on IR for a reason, and he's going to get that third opinion, which, we had Dr. Pearson here, and he said that, you can play on a torn MCL because it's different than the A and the PCL. So, in that case, they would just put a brace on that thing. I know Braylon was talking about that too on the show yesterday. If they can brace him up, that means he can play some snaps. I just wouldn't play him, of course, the normal amount of snaps that he would play. It would still be majority gives. But like I said, toward the goal line, why not? But that is, do we need to take a break? We still good?
No, go ahead.
All right, and the third one, this is a Pistons one. And would you rather? And this is pretty simple. Would you rather the Pistons trade for a starter at the deadline or trade for a key bench player at the deadline? So starter being, your Zach LaVines, your Brandon Ingrams, maybe your Vucevic, the big dogs. Or do you trade for a key bench player, which is backup point guard, backup center, people of that nature?
Man, if they trade for a backup, I'm looking for like a guy like Vooch. But I'm going to continue the same refrain. Go for the starter, and go for the starter. That's what I want.
There's a lot of them available.
And that's what I'm saying. It's a whole lot of them available. You can go to the point now that the asking prices are going to be more in favor to the Pistons. Whereas before they might have had to come up off of maybe a young player or two. Things are now going to be looking a little bit more in their favor. So, hey, let's go Pistons. Let's get that starter.
All right.
I'm going to go starter as well. I think that you could have a chance to get Cade a real co-star if you went after a starter. I just want more good high-level players on this team. I understand that a backup point guard is a need, and I wouldn't be mad at it, but given the choice, give me a starter.
Justin.
What's the question?
Would you rather the Pistons trade for a starter at the deadline or trade for a key bench player at the deadline?
A starter. That's not even a question. This team just lacks just genuine NBA level starters, and not like at the extent of the baseline, but where we're trying to get to. Where we're trying to get to that play-in level.
Yeah.
You need better starters. You need to raise the level. You need to be able to drop someone to the bench and let that improve your bench unit.
Got you. Chase, you got anything?
Just
Talk
to
closer
different.
to the mic, bro.
I'll say a bench player just to be different. I don't think they're going to make too many changes with the starting lineup.
I'm disappointed. I thought you were about to say Tobias Harris is replacement.
I'd love him to be gone. But this isn't like what I do or what what I want and what the Pistons are going to do are two different things.
Right. JB.
Give me the starter. Come on. I Cade needs options out there. No more of these bench depth role players. Give me a starter.
We got anything in the chat, Kool-Aid?
Hey, we do. A lot of people for starter: Chuck Brewer, Tabitha Gable, Tommy K, Randall Smalls, Dante151. Though is where things depart a little bit. He says key bench player, Real K77. We need a backup point guard. Harold Wilsey, bench player. They need good depth. ADIS411 bench.
Hey.
So it started with starters. It moved towards bench. And it's all over the place where you see people wanting them to reinforce the front court or the back court.
I mean, starter is the easy answer. We all want another starter in this mix, man. Will the Pistons go out and get one is the question, and what will the asking price be? Because you do got to give some stuff up if you're going to get that starter, man. So in the position the Pistons are in now, I'm not necessarily worried about the starting five. Yes, we can debate Tobias Harris, but overall, your starters give you double digits every night, like damn near every one of them. I would go for the bench player just this season alone.
But starters don't do that.
Yeah,
I
Beasley,
feel you can't count. Duran don't do it.
If you go get a starter, we still have the problems on our bench, and maybe even more problems at that point because you probably got to sell one of your bench players, man. So I don't know, man. I think if you get a backup point guard to kind of stabilize this thing, I think they in good shape to compete for a play-in spot. So, I mean, I would love a starter, and trust me, if there are a lot available, I would love to see them go out and get one. But just based on the Pistons' track record, I don't think they're going to go get a starter. So just go get that bench player. Get that backup point.
That's why we'll push back just a little bit. The last two trade deadlines, they've tried to get that starter.
Yeah.
That's the thing. And they're trying to get that starter.
But if it's if that starter is a Zach LaVine, then you got a contract situation to worry about. So I don't know. I don't know.
It matches up with the same window that they would have with Tobias right now. They're looking at how the contracts arrange for when Jalen Duren and Ivy will need their deals potentially, and Tobias Harris expiring in the same year. So it's like they do understand that they have a 2-year window in which if they want to take a flyer on getting one of those types of guys, it doesn't necessarily stunt. But I do agree with this.
Yeah.
They're not going to gut their team
right
for a starter. Not at all.
Yeah.
Not at all.
Okay.
So
Well, yeah, because I'm definitely not arguing the other point. Whatever they bring back is what they bring back. But
yeah,
to me, the bench is more key right now.
I think they definitely going to be active at the trade deadline.
Oh, they
which
better
should
be
fun.
They better be. I'd be disappointed if they let this trade deadline go past and not do a damn thing. You have to do something. You have to do something. But, all right. The next one in Would You Rather. Also a Pistons one. Would you rather JB Bickerstaff start trying different lineups with the starting rotation or leave the starters as is? And I came up with this one because, we posted our Woodward Pistons clip yesterday. Did pretty good in the comments, and a lot of people were saying they would like JB Bickerstaff to start tinkering with the starting rotation, and maybe that can yield more wins. But I want to know how y'all feel about that.
Man, I want Cade with that kind of instant automatic offense around him. And that's where I like how he works with Fontecchio. That's where I do like the way he and Malik Beasley pair. But then all of a sudden, when you talk about what the bench is right now, that's where you got to wonder, do we just leave Beasley there and just let him cook?
Yeah.
Let him cook. I know that with him filling in right now for a couple of players that are injured, it definitely works. But for right now, if I do change anything, it would be where Tim Hardaway is. Maybe make sure that Asar Thompson is that permanent starter at the wing, because Asar Thompson changes so much for the Pistons.
He does.
He can facilitate. He can defend the 1 through the 5. He can rim roll. He can dive. He can catch lobs. He can run the transition. He can do pretty much everything. So it's like he changes everything for the Pistons, and I do believe that him coming back allows you to leave Malik Beasley on the bench.
Yeah. Sam? Would you rather JB Bickerstaff start trying different lineups with the starters or leave the starters as is?
Have Jaden Ivey come off the bench. Ooh. I'm back on that.
Don't let it Don't let him hear you.
Is he in the room?
I don't think so.
Did he appear out of the ether?
I don't think so. Maniacal laugh beforehand as well.
This is not Ivy. This is not Ivy slander.
Ivy.
You're right.
Here's what I'll say about him. Low key, and this is not meant to. I'm not trying to be a prick. Ivy has been borderline abhorrent in the last 5 games. He has.
That's a fact.
He has not been good. And I still think over the totality of the season that Ivy would be better leading the bench unit. It's not saying Ivy's been bad, far from it. He's actually been better than I thought that he would be for the totality of the season. And he's shown that he can fit with Cade at times better than I've ever thought that he could, because his shooting percentage has gone up from 3. Ivy on the bench. Surround Cade with shooters. I am officially on that bandwagon now, whereas yesterday I had to mull it over.
Can I ask him just a quick follow-up?
Absolutely.
If he's on the bench, is that long-term, or are you saying with the contract extensions on the way, you know what, maybe not?
So we're talking about tinkering. That I'm being very specific to what KG was asking.
I got you.
I think it's kind of a see if it works sort of thing.
I got you.
Yeah.
Okay. Justin, do you have anything?
Same logic, same reasoning as Flannel.
Let's go.
Chase?
Tobias, go to the bench. Please. Go to the bench. Sit your ass down.
Sit the F down.
Chase wants him just cut and just tarred and feathered on his way out of town.
Chase, I feel your sentiments, bro.
Okay.
You know I was on this early in the season.
He's
I was
a nice
on this.
guy. But we are trying to make him more than he is. I called him before. He's magic beans on this team, man. He's not gonna turn into a giant beanstalk. Okay?
Right. We all back on our shit apparently, man. JB, what you got, bro?
Make sure Stick not around
Right.
once again. But once again, I agree with Flannel. Hey, Ivy on the bench right now and punt Tobias to the moon whenever we can.
Ooh.
Damn, man. Kool-Aid, we got any comments on this?
Yeah, I'm just looking through here, man. I see Xavier D says he still loves Jalen Duren. I do too. I want the Pistons to just get him some help and proper development. I think they're on that path. But let me see here. Xavier D says he agrees with Sam. Dante151, I would leave it. Terrell Lamar, change the big man. I don't know if he means the 4 or the 5, if that's Tobias Harris, or if he's talking about Jalen Duren.
Yeah.
14 Grit, you need Beasley as a 6-man. Flannel is not a BB scheme guy.
I mean, Trust me, I get what you're saying. I have been leading that charge for a long time. At the beginning of the year, I thought that Ivy would be better off the bench. And at the beginning of the season, I feel like I was looking a little bit foolish. But as the season has gone on, as there's more wear and tear and things are developing, I've seen Ivy really kind of cost the team lately. Good player, but I'm just saying.
Yeah. And this, I see people say, and I just saw, Joseph Campbell, 3, Ivy has the potential of being the next Vinnie Johnson. And it's like, I don't think people understand. Vinnie Johnson is called the microwave because he was instant offense.
Exactly.
The most Vinnie Johnson type player that we have on the team is Malik Beasley.
Not even close.
That's the thing. And that's where you say, you know what, if you have to go to the bench, and I saw someone else say, you know what, if you start Malik Beasley, it might actually hurt Cade, because then all of a sudden the usage has to go up a little higher in the minutes that Beasley is not in the game, and that Beasley's not playing with Cade as well. So that is something to think about. When you look at how JB Bickerstaff and his team have kind of structured things, I think it's they're trying to figure out the best way to get this team rest as well as the best chemistry and the best to get Cade with shooters. But the problem is this: Cade can create his own offense. If you put the shooters with Cade, who are the backup facilitators playing with?
Yeah.
Playing with him? That's a good counterpoint. I will give you that. That's a good counterpoint.
That's a tough one, man.
I can't really argue that one.
Sheesh.
This is tough, man. And shout out, this created good conversation in the chat. DNCENT to Tobias Hate Man, .. Listen, man, we just going off what we've been shown, man. It is what it is. But ultimately, I leave Malik Beasley on the bench, but I really want to get Asar more minutes, man, because I do understand that you would be sacrificing some floor spacing, having him in the starting lineup, but it's just his ability to guard 1 through 5, man. He is instant defense. We talk about instant offense. Yeah. He is instant defense, man, and he can go out there, create turnovers, just be a disruptor. And also, if he can play downhill and get to the rim and also drive and kick, I like his ability to do that as well. So I really want Asar in the starting lineup. I do. Tobias, I feel like you put him on the bench. That gives your bench more juice from a scoring standpoint. And you can just rock with it for a week or two. Just see how it works.
With the normal starters of Cade, Tim Hardaway, Ivy. You can take Hardaway out and put Asar right into that starting lineup.
I feel like it works.
It would work because Tim Hardaway Jr. Yes, he's going to be a better 3-point shooter in bunches, but that's how those threes come for him. And with Asar Thompson, I actually don't think he's a problem for spacing. The back half of your comments is exactly why, and this is what we always talk about. His ability to still be effective in a half-court offense is why. Let me ask you guys this: during the minutes that Asar Thompson played, did anybody think about, man, we needed 3-point shooting?
No.
That's what I'm saying.
No.
That's how you judge how effective a perimeter player is. He might not be the most effective 3-point shooter, but if he's still an effective perimeter player, that's where JB Bickerstaff has come in and done a much better job with this player who some NBA coaches in today, they're like, man, if he can't shoot, then just stick him in a corner. Woe is Stanley Johnson, because I believe if Stanley Johnson was drafted to this regime, they would have a much better plan to take advantage of his skill set like you see them doing with Asar Thompson.
No, for real. 14 grit in the chat. Asar is hitting 30% from the 3-point. So
Fred Vincent, shout out.
That's all he needs. To be honest, he doesn't need to be prolific shooting that. But if he can't hit around that and still get to the rim, I think that works well. He's also good in transition as well. But last one in Would You Rather. And it is a mix of Pistons and Lions. Would you rather Dan Campbell win NFL Coach of the Year or Cade Cunningham become an All-Star? I'll say it again. Would you rather Dan Campbell win NFL Coach of the Year or Cade Cunningham become an NBA All-Star this season?
It's a nightmare scenario for Kool-Aid right there.
I know, right? Yeah. That's why I did it. I know he tore.
Why'd you do that to him?
I feel like this will be pretty easy for most of us, but I already know what you're going to say, too. I know what you're going to say before you say it.
As much as I want to say Cade Cunningham. I've been preaching this, man, dog. They robbed Dan Campbell. They robbed Cade, too. But the Lions have had... Bro, listen, man. The Lions, they deserve it. Dan Campbell deserves it. Give my man, give him his flowers, and I get it. Super Bowl's the ultimate, but goodness gracious, Dan Campbell,
holy
MCDC,
shocking. This is why you play the games, people. That is a shocker right there. I thought
winning.
this was easy.
If I
game
have to
for you.
split the hairs, y'all know how I feel about Cade Cunningham. All-star Cade Cunningham. He's going to get that.
He's
this
going
year.
to
He
be
deserves
one.
it.
Yeah.
But if I had to choose one right now, I would have to look at the winning, the overcoming these injuries, just getting on the
That's
radio and
crazy.
inspiring the whole state. I feel this is a good type of dirty.
Yes, it's a good type of dirty.
Samuel.
yes. Kenneth. I am going to say Dan Campbell, Coach of the Year, and I will give this reasoning. Wow. I believe that his closest competition is Kevin O'Connell from the Vikings. I truly believe that whoever wins the NFC North, that head coach is going to win Coach of the Year. And for that reasoning, and you know how much I want the Lions to get that 1 seed, Dan Campbell, Coach of the Year.
Wow, Justin, man. That's why we play the game, man. It's crazy. I thought this would be easy, Cade. I'm not going to lie to you, but go ahead, Justin.
Yeah, I can't lie. I'm gonna say Cade, and I'm like probably the last of the basketball fans in this room. But
yeah,
Coach of the Year doesn't mean shit. Like, can't lie. Like, that's not gonna define Dan Campbell as a coach ever.
Yeah.
No matter if he wins a Super Bowl or not, that's not gonna define his tenure here. It's gonna be how the success he's brought to this team. Cade Cunningham, however, is being judged harshly for the fact that he has not been an All-Star yet. And it would be continuously brutalized if he were not to be an All-Star this year again. So I'm going to go with Cade.
Yeah, that's a fact, Chase.
Yeah, I'm going with Cade as well. There's only one trophy that defines Dan Campbell's legacy here in Detroit. So,
I agree.
That's the Lombardi trophy. So
I agree.
It's got to be Cade, not only for, his own narrative, but, for the Pistons.
Yeah. No, this is crazy. I like the responses. JB.
I gotta agree with Chase and Justin over here as well too. Give me Cade on this one. Sorry, Kool-Aid, but the Coach of the Year doesn't mean anything to Dan Campbell.
Oh no, don't apologize to me.
We all know
right,
what,
he picked Dan.
I know. We all know what this team wants and what Dan wants for this team right now, and that's to host up that Lombardi Trophy. So, Cade All-Star.
Yeah,
I got to see the responses. What's the responses in the chat looking like?
Let me see here, because when it first came in, I saw a lot of Dan. Dan for Coach of the Year. 14 Grit, Cade All-Star. Tommy K, Dan for Coach of the Year. Dan, DNC ENT, Cade No Contest. Dante 151, Cade NBA All-Star. Michael Danye, Coach of the Year. Allen W, Coach of the Year don't mean anything. Cade All-Star. Chuck Brewer, Cade. He needs to shine to get a better whistle. And that is something that I think before the show or during one of the breaks, we talked about briefly. If he gets that All-Star, it does mean a lot for the real narratives within the NBA, and I do definitely get that. I believe that the way it's going to go, Cade is going to get it, and Dan Campbell is not going to get it. I believe that they both deserve it. Ultimately, they both deserve it, and I do. I believe that the last half of our panel, I like the way that you guys put that. As it relates to the tangibles. Cade needs it more than Dan Campbell.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And I got to disagree. I think they both get it this year. I think Dan's getting that Coach of the Year, and I think Cade is going to be an All-Star. He better be. That'd be one of the bigger snubs in recent memory if he doesn't with his numbers this year.
No one is with those numbers. Yeah, everybody with those numbers has become an All-Star.
No, that's a fact. But Dan Campbell, I mean, to me, his best chance to win it was 2022. If they had made the playoffs, then I think he would have absolutely won the award. But at this point, he's one of the best coaches in the league. And most of the time, once you're a top-tier coach, they don't give you that award. That award is mostly for the coach that surprises you the most or the team that surprises you the most. So just based on that logic, if I had to choose Cade All-Star, he finally starts getting foul calls. They finally start putting respect on his name. I think it does way more for Cade than Coach of the Year does for Dan Campbell.
We hope.
Do you want to hear something so funny that you should hire me as a full-time traveling comedian just off of this one joke?
What?
Talk to me.
Dan Campbell does not have a Coach of the Year, and Brian Daboll does.
Crazy. Kevin Stefanski got two.
But like that. But
I get it. But it's
the
just
funny
like,
thing is, and I'm gonna out myself. I thought Brian Daboll deserved it in 2022 because the Giants made the playoffs against all odds. It's funny how it works, and it's funny how the criteria is, because you could probably give it to Andy Reid every year. You probably could have given it to Bill Belichick every year. You could have given it to Dan Campbell last year, the year before, and this year. It's about overperforming expectations more than anything. But I still think, despite all of, if the Lions go 15-2 and win the North and get the 1 seed while withstanding all of these injuries, it's Dan Campbell, and there shouldn't even be. It should be unanimously Dan Campbell.
Yeah.
But
That's it.
That was a great one, man. That was great. I thought it was great. Great dialogue as well.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Great discourse, and the chat family was dialed in as well. Great answers from them, and it's cool to hear just different people's how they see this thing and how they break this thing down too. Because for me, I believe that Cade should have won Rookie of the Year. I get it. You can't put him in during a historically bad year, but he's had the numbers. You know, hopefully he gets that this year, man.
Yeah.
I really do. But you guys got to do your part. Voting is open today. Go and vote for future All-Star Cade Cunningham. Let's get into this next segment. Great job, KG, with Would You Rather.
Oh, yes. And we got to do the WU Crew Fantasy, which I would rather not do. But you know what? I'm a pro, so I will stand here and take my lumps. Because
they're going to find out why.
But first, watch party and post game.
There we go, Flannel.
Listen, it's the New Holland Brewing Company watch party and post game show. Shout out to Easy in the chats as well. He and his co-host spin more racks of the heavyweights to get things kicked off with the watch party. All of the biggest reactions to all of the biggest plays, man. Good, bad, and indifferent. It's all going down at Hayes Social live located in Shelby Township. You got to join us, man. We got the good food. We got the good eats. We got the good drinks, man. We got everybody there cheering on the brand new Lions. And right now it's definitely looking like the brand new Lions as they've continued to add more and more to try and keep this train rolling. But let's make sure we do our part as fans. If you can't be at the game, show up to Hayes Social for the watch party. And right after that, we got the post game show hosted by Stick and Anson. They're giving you the instant analysis right when the game ends. We want you a part of the show as well. So if you are in the building, we'll give you the mic, put you on the camera. If you are at home, you can call in and we'll make sure that we get you on the show if we can, because those phone lines get jammed up. KG will tell you too. But listen, all of this is brought to you by Tangerine Space Machine, tell your local long drink, 1800 Tequila, Soroki's, and Sabbath Coffee. Stay tapped in.
Get energized for the holidays during the 12 Days of Fitness at Planet Fitness. Now through December 20th, join for $1 down, $15 a month. And recharge this holiday season and beyond in the clean and spacious judgment-free zone, filled with equipment for every workout. Stay motivated with free fitness training and lots more. Celebrate the 12 Days of Fitness at Planet Fitness. Join for $1 down, $15 a month. Hurry, offer ends December 20th.
We don't like to brag that we are the toughest sports network in Detroit, but we do have a guy named Darren McCarty on our side. Woodward Sports.
Walk into any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men today. Open 7 days a week. Sit back, relax, and enjoy precision haircut, scalp massage, hot leather neck shave, and hot towel treatment from one of our talented stylists. Step up your game this season and take advantage of our $20 haircut special. Scan the QR code and get your coupon today. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, the ultimate haircut experience. Open 7 days a week. Walk-ins always welcome. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, it's wicked awesome.
Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Woodward Golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids, all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today.
1800 Tequila, official tequila of Woodward Sports Lions watch parties and post-game show. Join 1800 Tequila and Woodward Sports every Lions game live at Hayes Social in Shelby Township and celebrate the wins with smooth 1800 Tequila, proud sponsor of your Detroit Lions. 1800 Tequila, the best taste in tequila. Drink responsibly.
I don't know if this pairs well, but Soroki's Crispy Chicken and Pizza, they have a new limited time offer.
Hey, it does at the watch party.
I know. It pairs great.
You can't complain. Continuing on through this football season, Soroki's is debuting their fresh signature flavored wings right now. Grab your friends a New York style pizza and add some wings to your order today. As you can see, the 7 different flavors up there that they have. If you don't have time to stop in store, you can always order online at Sorokis.com.
Hey, welcome back. It is Wake Up Woodward, and we got to get to this fantasy segment, but just real quick, bro. Did you see Doug Gottlieb?
Oh, yeah.
Coach of Green Bay.
Yeah.
Calling Michigan Tech nobody you. And then they lost. Pre-game, he called them nobody you.
Isn't Michigan Tech?
And then they lost 72-70 to Michigan Tech.
Isn't that the one in like Houghton or Hancock or whatever?
Hey,
way up there.
Yep. My pops took me there one time, man. It was a dope experience. Yeah.
No, Michigan Tech is a really cool campus. It's just, and so is Northern Michigan, but the UP is just so freaking isolated from everywhere else in America.
Shout out to Coach Doug Gottlieb. I just thought that he just deserved a shout out. Coach of Green Bay, who got beat by Michigan Tech. But KG, let's get into this fantasy segment, and then we have what's trending as well as a little bit of mailbag.
All right, so let's get started. Listen, we 3 weeks behind because of everything, the Lions game, scheduling, and everything. We just did not have time. So we will run through the scores of the last 3 weeks, and then we'll just get into the fantasy awards for this past week and the current playoff standings because the playoffs start today, ladies and gentlemen. JB, give me
Broder showed up in the chats again.
Oh, you want the standard?
Yep, no. So you can actually go past week 12 because I think we did week 12. Week 13. Let's start at week 13. So week 13, let's go down the list. Broder lost to, I believe that's Justin for the people.
Yes, sir.
Yes, he lost to Justin 198 to 173. Flannel Sam lost to Kool-Aid that week, 190 to 147. Of course, I won because that's just a staple of what the fuck our fantasy league is. 180 to 129. Dante, my bad, bro. And JB defeated Yangtze River Bats, which is Chase, by 1 point, 147 to 146. Let's go to week 14. All right, and in this week, Broder defeated Dante, which, I mean, that's pretty common. Everybody beats Dante. 210 to 157. We had Justin, who was making a comeback for the century, man. 204, taking down Chase. 204 to 136. Of course, me defeating Flannel Sam, 141 to 139. And JB defeating Kool-Aid by a few points here, 169 to 162. Let's move on to week 15. And in this week, I pretty much gave Broder the win. I didn't check my lineup until after 1 o'clock. So Broder got the win in that one, 201 to 134. You had Justin, man, comeback. Like I said, 188 to 159, taking down Kool-Aid. Pause. Then you had Dante with his best game of the year, 209 to 111. Chase.
What?
God
What?
damn.
Wait. Who was that?
That was Dante that did that to Chase.
It's not just a win, but 209 points.
Where was this earlier, Dante?
What?
That is one of the
Dante.
higher point totals of the season, ladies and gentlemen. And
Goodness.
JB, who I think broke the points record by like a point or two, because I had said it previously. JB with 213 points, defeating Flannel Sam 213 to 174.
We back.
What a hell of a 3 weeks that was.
That was for a playoff spot.
It was.
Yes, it was.
It was. And we will get into the standings shortly. Let's do our final weekly awards for week 15. The highest motor award, of course, goes to JB Smooth, man. Putting up 213 points. That is a hell of an output. We got to go to, the award that should be named the Chase Award at this point. The Doormat of the Week. And for the 6th time this season, it was your boy Chase, man, putting up 111 points in week 15. Chase, any words?
I mean, we lost. This is fantasy, I'm going to focus on trying to win in real life. So
Hey, he playing the real life card, y'all. But anyway, let's go on. That's how you know they sore about it. They start playing the real life card. So let's go on to the biggest loser award. And I believe this was Flannel Sam this week, losing by a margin of...
I think it was Kool-Aid.
Oh, actually, you're right. It was Kool-Aid. It was Kool-Aid losing by a margin of 29 points. You've held this award about 3 times this year. You're just so close, but can't get it done, dog. Can't get it done. Any words?
Goodness, man. No words, man.
I understand.
No words.
Let's just move on. Let's just move on, man. It's okay. And finally, the award nearest and dearest to our hearts, the final Freak Off Award of the Year goes
Which
to
is
somebody
crazy.
that has not had it. The first time Freak Off Award winner, Dante 151 with the Freak Off Award, winning by a margin of 98 points. Congratulations to Dante. This is a season salvaging award right here. This was all this was all worth it.
You cooked up the graphic, huh? For Dante.
Hey, had to, man. Had to. And quickly, let's go to our final standings. This is the playoff bracket as it stands today. And this is crazy. We had 3 teams with a 9-6 record, man. Of course, you got me in the top spot because I just win and I just keep going, man. Me at the top spot is me and then everybody else. You got Justin technically in the 2 seed right now at 9-6. You got JB in the 3 seed right now at 9-6. And you got Broder right now at the 4th seed at 9-6. Flannel just misses the playoffs with a 7-8 record after a very, very strong start to the season. Flannel, any explanation as to what happened this year?
It was one of the all-time choke jobs. When I make this, I might as well, my other finger is pointed at myself. I was choking like some people choke on something else, and I'm not gonna go into bigger detail because there are females who are in the building. But that was me. That was me.
That is a fact,
How
man.
appropriate of you.
Oh, you know what? I've accused others of doing it, so I'm just gonna do the biggest mea culpa. I vomited on my own nutsack.
Hey, there you go. There you go.
How? Never mind.
Just real quick, the final.
Terrible.
Oh my God, man! I love this team.
Shout out to Chase.
There were no ladies in the room when I
We
said
have
that.
the nicest records.
Yeah, so let's run through the rest of the
6
records.
and 9.
Of course, Yangtze Riverbats. I got to give you credit, bro. You did make a push towards the end of the year compared to how you started, but you finished 6 and 9. So Chinavirus, you are out. Kool-Aid, who is Dick Campbell Energy, also finishes 6 and 9, and you were representing MJ in the chat. So MJ, you are out. Flannel Sam 7 and 8 representing Patrick Ofiara. You are out. And of course, Dante 151. You had no chance the whole year. You finished with a 3-12 record. Damn, you got to do a rebuild in the offseason. You were representing Allen W in the chat, and you are out as well.
Get the number 1 overall pick.
That is your playoff bracket. The playoffs begin today. That is a recap of your regular season WUW Crew Fantasy League.
Maybe Allen W gets Joe Burrow.
Maybe. But look, we're going to try and look
Maybe
out
he
for
gets Bryce
everybody
Young.
that participated. We're going to try and make sure y'all all get compensated for being a part of us on this journey. This was our first time doing this. I think it's been a rousing success. And thank y'all for being engaged. And we're going to see what happens in the playoffs, man. But we got nice little prizes on the way. So,
hey, let's rock, man. Yeah, this was fun. I know that we still have a few more weeks of the WUW Crew Fantasy Football League. Thank you for organizing this and keeping up with it all season, KG, and for cooking up those graphics, JB Smooth.
Oh, of course, yeah.
All season, man. This has been fun. It's awesome, and I know that we have some more initiatives on the way to make sure that we can connect more and more with the chat audience. But let's get to this next segment. I know it's gonna be what's trending, and we'll probably wrap up after that.
Yeah.
Do we have any friends we gotta say what up, though, to?
Second Best Bar and New Holland.
Hey, you know what? Want to know where the best pregame Lions party is for the Monday night game against the 49ers? Man, get hype. It's on December 30th, guys. Look, join us now at Detroit's very own Second Best Bar, located at 42 Watson Street for the ultimate fan experience. Enjoy some smooth Tullamore Dew Irish whiskey while catching some Woodward Sports pregame show only at Second Best Bar. Come get some.
And you also can get that Tangerine Space Machine at Second Best Bar as well, too. The new easy drinking IPA that is out of this world. It's smooth, it's juicy, with refreshing crushability. Take your taste buds to the moon and grab yourself a case of this intergalactic haze of goodness. It's the official beer of outer space, and it's brewed by New Holland Brewing Company, straight out of Holland, Michigan, so you always can support locally. Grab yourself a case today.
Get energized for the holidays during the 12 Days of Fitness at Planet Fitness. Now through December 20th, join for $1 down, $15 a month. And recharge this holiday season and beyond in the clean and spacious judgment-free zone, filled with equipment for every workout. Stay motivated with free fitness training and lots more. Celebrate the 12 Days of Fitness at Planet Fitness. Join for $1 down, $15 a month. Hurry, offer ends December 20th.
The Super Bowl parade in Detroit will be one for the record books. Detroit just does it different. Woodward Sports, your official Super Bowl or Bust Lions network.
Walk into any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men today. Open 7 days a week. Sit back, relax, and enjoy precision haircut, scalp massage, hot leather neck shave, and hot towel treatment from one of our talented stylists. Step up your game this season and take advantage of our $20 haircut special. Scan the QR code and get your coupon today. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, the ultimate haircut experience. Open 7 days a week. Walk-ins always welcome. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, it's wicked awesome.
Hey, dreaming of a new home but feeling the financial pinch? Mark White & Associates, your trusted real estate experts, are here to help. Mark White and his team will pay up to $5,000 of your closing costs. That's right, I said $5,000. Call Mark White & Associates today at 248-290-8242 or visit them at markwhitesells.com. Again, call Mark White today at 248-290-8242 to make your dreams come true. And since 1996, Feldman Automotive has been driven to provide a fast, convenient, and first-class car buying experience called the Feldman Advantage. With 18 locations, there's a Feldman dealership in your backyard. Visit feldmanauto.com to find the location nearest you. Feldman Chevrolet, Detroit's #1 Chevy dealer.
Hey, what up, though, people? And we are back in this Wake Up Woodward. We got everybody's favorite segment on the way. But what up, though, Flannel Sam? You want to say something to the people?
Yes, I am going to, I have to head to a 10:30 doctor's appointment right now. That's the only time that I could get. But I will see you guys tomorrow, and the rest of the crew will continue with what's trending.
Hey, you know what? We'll get this done now.
Y'all know Sam getting a prostate check, so pray for him, man.
He's only 33. He's right. 7 years. Chill up, man.
Pray for him, man.
I am okay. It's very routine, but
And before you go, there's breaking Chiefs news. They plan to start or activate Hollywood Brown for Saturday's game versus Texas.
Oh, he's back.
Just so you know.
Back to drop some more passes.
Before you go.
So the Chiefs will obviously have the #1 offense in the NFL for the last 3 weeks and all through the playoffs. Besides the Lions, of course. I'm kidding,
There
but
you go.
I will see you guys tomorrow.
Hey, brother, be safe, man.
Yes.
All love, Flannel Sam.
Scram.
One of the pros.
Vamonos. Vamos.
Spark up word to this for JB Smooth. Or Jars.
Jars, let's get it.
Now it's time for the most electrifying segment on the internet. Bum, bum, bum. It's What's Trending with JB. Live on Wake Up Woodward.
Hey, listen, man. I'm trying to get high with JB. I'm trying to get high.
Hey, if you want to just pull up to the studio, hey, I'm here. Just saying. I'm here. But I got some news for you guys before I hop into these videos as well, too, because I'm not too sure if a lot of people were fans of this. I know I'm a skinny fat kid as it is as well, too. But Taco Bell is bringing back for one day only, and that is today. So go out today and get yourself some. The chicken nuggets.
Oh, shit.
The Taco Bell chicken nuggets.
Hold
they
on.
are back.
When did Taco Bell have chicken nuggets, bro? I'm lost.
What are these?
They're Taco Bell chicken nuggets. They're
Like real wings or those WYNGZs?
they might be the WY.
Right. The wings.
They're bringing them back for one day exclusively with some nice dipping sauce as well. So they got the Hidden Valley Fire Ranch and you got the Bell sauce as well as some jalapeno honey mustard.
I don't
So
even know why I asked. I'm going to eat it anyway. It looks good. Them nacho fries are fire too.
the
nacho fries fire for sure.
Yeah, of course the nacho fries, but for one day only, they are coming back. So go out and get yourself some today as well too. And shout out to one of Michigan's own from UWM, Mr. Matt Ishbia, because I don't know what's happening in Phoenix right now, but I like it because they are lowering some of their food prices right now. It's the $2 value meal out in Phoenix, which I don't know, I'm kind of a fan of. I wish we would do this here a little bit. I mean, hot dogs $2, water, fountain drinks $2, bag of chips, popcorn $2. How we feeling about this?
I wonder, knowing what I know about Tom Gores, I feel like if they had their own arena, maybe they have the opportunity to try something like this because they've done things to try and peace out, Flannel Sound. They've done things to try and incentivize fans coming out to the stadium, and so it's just like, you know what? I feel like they would do that if they had their own arena, but I don't know if the LCA owners are going to allow that to happen.
Yeah.
$7 for popcorn is insane. That
It's
is one of
stupid.
one of the most profitable concession snacks. Like
You know what?
can
Go
have.
off, dog. This is my favorite snack. Please go.
I love popcorn.
Too much money.
Dude, we used to have a popcorn machine in my house. Like you've met my dad. He'd whip it
I
up. The
got- we got
popcorn.
one.
the caramel corn, he would whip it up all the time. Like, it is a very, very low cost snack to charge $7 for it. Like, their margins were like insane on that. I mean, even still charging $2, you're gonna rake in the cash. Popcorn is so cheap. You make like a little goes a long way with those kernels.
Like, a lot of these teams need to get better at that, because I mean, the Atlanta Falcons, look at their owner, Arthur Blank. He makes things cheap, and I would consider Atlanta to be the same size market as Detroit. You know, they pretty similar in terms of market value. So it's crazy, man. Drop these prices, because we can't keep affording $14 fucking candy and just ridiculousness.
$9 at LCA.
Yeah,
$9, and that's crazy, because I'm the guy, and maybe I'm just one of those sickos, but I'm the guy who I love popcorn so much, and it's just become just attached to my entertainment experience.
Yeah.
Then I'm walking by, and I'm just like, golly, they got me, dog. They got me. And I gotta pay the $9. I love popcorn that much, man.
Pricing out families, bro.
Don't fall for it, Kool-Aid. don't fall for it.
That should be the driest popcorn ever, too.
y'all walk with me through the concourse.
Yeah,
There's two things that get me.
The chicken.
Good chicken tender.
The chicken and the popcorn,
I was the only one that lied, ironically, at the Red Wings game for the fried chicken. I don't know why.
$24, man. Nobody want that burnt crispy chicken tender for fucking $24. I'm good. Burnt ass Tyson chicken, man. I can make that shit at home.
Burnt Tyson.
That shit they think they fooling somebody. It's Tyson fucking chicken. You already feeding me the goddamn probiotic chicken, bro. Like, what the fuck? Like, come on, man. Move on. Let's move on. I'm getting mad.
Let's move on.
Fucking steroid ass chicken.
Let me move on a little bit now. Justin, I know you were at the Red Wings game yesterday, so I'm not too sure if you've seen the incident with the guy in the shirtless guy that happened, but I'm assuming he was trying to walk back to his seat, and this is just all that he could see.
Oh, shit.
Oh, no.
Oh, shit, no. The stadium pulse meter is hilarious.
Stadium pulse meter. That was just him on his way back to his seat right there. But finally, I got to show you guys this. I hope you guys don't mind that I kind of shit on the team real quick.
Nah, get your shit off.
I'm going to play this video, and then I'm going to explain a little bit more afterwards.
I have another letter here. It says, Dear Santa, I have been working hard in school all year and making sure my grades are full A's. I have also been working on my jump shot, but my jump shot in 2K needs some work. I'd really love a PlayStation if you have one. P.S. A PlayStation 5. Wait, Hugo, not the one my dad used to play with the square graphics.
No.
Happy holidays, friend.
So, that was the Charlotte Hornets giving away a PS5 to one lucky kid at the stadium. Now, once the kid got backstage, they took it back.
Wait, what?
They took it back.
Why?
They took it back and said it was a mix-up. Like the whole presentation was supposed to be a joke of some sort. So they took it back, and then they were going to give the kid I'm assuming a signed jersey from one of the either Lonzo Ball or
that's Hornets thing to do. They gave away the
Why
name
not just
Hornets.
surprise him with a signed jersey in the get-go then?
Right.
What?
That's wild.
I mean, that's typical. The Hornets, they gave away the name and then they took it right back from New Orleans. So, I mean, that's just like on brand for that franchise.
That's funny as hell. Yeah, bro. That's just the type of shit that make you hate franchises, bro. I would forever hate the Hornets after that.
That's pretty wild,
I don't want that fucking LaMelo Ball jersey, man. Get the fuck out of here.
And gave away a PS5.
They gave away 3.
Yeah, they gave away 3. This kid could pick between 3 gifts. They were all PS5s, and they gave it away. I mean, at least that's a respectable thing.
Pistons, they're cashing out. Y'all go to the Pistons game, right? It used to just be like some T-shirts.
Yeah.
Now they're giving out stuff like every single break. StockX is giving away stuff every single show. Someone's gonna get a shoe. Hutch Jewelers is giving away a chain every single game. Like you're getting like 4 and 5 other things from their sponsors. So it's like they do a good job at trying to incentivize, man. For this to happen, and I spent some time in Charlotte. That's where wife's family's from. We went to some games, went to all the Pistons games. That happened while I was living down there in Charlotte. For them to do this, it's just like that's why the arena is empty.
So they took the PS5 back, and once this news kind of broke and got out a little bit more, obviously they came out and apologized and said it was a bad joke on their part. But yes, they will be giving the kid the PS5 plus other things as well too to kind of compensate for this.
How is it a joke?
Yeah, you embarrassed that kid on fucking technically national TV.
Like, where's the joke? I just don't understand it.
Yeah,
I don't even understand the setup. Like, what's the joke?
I don't know either. But hey, Charlotte, you fucked up. But that's what's trending, you guys.
That's hilarious, bro.
It's wild, bro. That's wild. That's what's trending for the day?
That is what's trending for the day. Let's hop into some mailbag.
Hey, yeah. You know what? We'll definitely take at least 2 or 3 mailbag questions before we get things wrapped up. I feel like I can feel the presence of Mr. President Neil Rule somewhere in the area. So.
No, he's out of town. I don't think you got to worry about him. So
yeah, I think he's V-mixing in today.
If he V-mixes into our show and tells us to get off the air, bro, that's gonna be a whole new level.
Get your shit in.
It's like 4 a.m. in Hawaii right now.
But shout out to our friends from Feldman. You guys know multiple times out the month we will broadcast live from there. Great staff, and you hear the stories all the time of how they have helped multiple of our staff members, man. Feldman Chevrolet of Novi is where we do broadcast. It is Michigan's #1 Chevy dealer, and they've been a dealer of the year for 6 times running, I believe, in a row, and they're going for 7th time in a row this year. Good people. The process, they get you out of there quickly as anybody else can in the industry, and it's a good product as well. They work with you. I'm actually going through the process right now. I've been corresponding with my guy, and you know what? They're walking me through this process pretty easily. They're finding exactly what fits my family and our needs. So shout out to Feldman, man. Let's jump into this mailbag real quick. Let's get those comments into the chat, and we will definitely read the ones that we can get to. I see Alan W. already. Mailbag. I joined Beasley Twitch stream the other night, and I guess that's Malik Beasley, and he was upset about a fan that harassed him after a game because their parlay didn't hit. Can we not push away a 20 points per game free agent that I'd like to re-sign? We talked about that on this show.
Yeah.
We talked about that, and we made sure, we said, like, bro, like, what the heck? Because you guys know, I take you guys through the process of what I go through and some of the privileged areas that we're able to be in.
Yep.
And when we walk through that players club and you're seeing like family members and you're seeing friends and you're seeing even players in there. Like the last time I went from the press conference room, you walk through the players club, you walk up, you come straight down, and it's the court in front of you, man. And who's in there? Tim Hardaway.
Yeah.
Who have I met in there? People like George Blaha, Dwayne Casey, and others. So it's like to be in that room, because I know exactly where they are, where that locker room goes. That's on the far side of that players club. To be in that room and to be flicking people off, that's messed up.
Yeah, that's wild.
Because that's supposed to be like Pistons royalty, Pistons family members. Like, what are you doing? And he's a kid from here.
Wow.
Malik Beasley's from here. His people's from here. In the clip earlier where he talked about, coming here during the summers to be with his family that were here. It's just like, come on, man. Why are we doing this? And then aside from that, don't be a douche. But aside from that, it's like my man is actually balling out this year.
Yeah, that shit lame, bro. Don't nobody care about your parlay, dog. Like, just bet better next time. Like,
Yeah.
I hate that type of shit, bro. Like, don't harass the fucking athletes, bro. They don't give a fuck about your parlay, dog.
They're not the one who's putting the money down. They're not the one who's willing to lose the money.
Yeah,
Only put money down that you're willing to lose and that you're not going to get mad over.
I'm glad you said that, because the money that they did put down, Malik Beasley put down some money yesterday and made sure that families could eat.
Exactly.
He's giving, someone like Malik Beasley too. He's been giving back to the community. He's been a key factor to why this Pistons team is winning, which is the least of the things that he's doing for the city of Detroit. It's just absolutely criminal that we do stuff to like star players who are helping this team that have been brought to Detroit to actually make our teams worth something. I mean, Malik Beasley has been easily the best free agent addition of the Pistons this year.
In a long time.
I know.
In a long time, yeah.
I know he won't be in those areas no more. Pistons ain't playing that shit, man.
Nah, bro. Steve DeYoung, Feldman mailbag. Which depth signing fills a more critical need, DB or D-line? And who would you want to fill that position?
I am on my hands and knees praying the fact that Calais Campbell is available.
Yeah, we gotta talk about that.
That is the addition that actually will make you be some remnants of the defensive line in the past. I mean, Calais Campbell is a Pro Bowler. He's a little up there in age, but you're not going to be asking him to be a solo D tackle. You're going to be asking him to be there next to DJ Reader.
Yeah.
And with that combo, I mean, you're looking at a very nice D tackle pairing where you're also not worried about how bad your run defense is anymore.
Yeah, totally agree. You pretty set in terms of DB. You got most of your DBs there besides your linebackers. So I would the defensive line for sure.
Man, Randall Smalls. You know the way to my heart, brother. You know the way to my heart. We talked about this in between shows with Neil Rule one day too. Feldman Mailbag, Randall Smalls, Kool-Aid. Could we and does he fit to trade for Jimmy Butler?
I think so.
Y'all saw Jimmy Butler in that last game, right? I know Cade Cunningham went off and he had a triple-double. Who else had a triple-double in that game? Jimmy Butler with 33 points, dog, and it was effortless.
Him and his crazy ass hair.
It was
don't understand what he's doing with his head, but
he's an interesting character. But I like him. He's cool.
No, he's cool. For
when
sure.
you think about Jimmy Butler, it's like I don't remember too much like ball pounding. It's just he just scores.
Yeah.
There were times where they just threw it down into the paint. It didn't matter if even the defender on him was taller.
Yeah.
Even Asar Thompson, he was giving work to Asar Thompson in the paint, which I was like, that's surprising. Jimmy Butler is a little bit taller, plays much bigger than the 6'5", 6'6" frame.
He's never been a prolific shooter, but he's crafty, especially, towards the paint. He can finish at the rim very well. His mid-range is pretty solid, man. He plays good defense, I would say.
Facilitator.
Yeah, he knows how to distribute as well. Like, there's a lot of things that Jimmy Butler does really well.
Dog mentality. We talk about those players that can help elevate and motivate. And I do believe that Jared Goff is one of those guys for us.
Yeah.
But remember what Jimmy Butler was able to do in Minnesota. And I believe that they peaked with him. But why did he leave? Because he realized he was going to have to be that dog every single night because that team didn't have it in them.
Right.
He went down to Miami where they had that dog in them. And who believed that they were going to have that mild success that they did while he was that man?
Yeah.
We all remember the most infamous picture of him just kind of being on the scores table. After that playoffs against LeBron James. So I'm just like, you know what?
Him and Spo single-handedly took that Heat team to the finals, bro.
That's what I'm saying. Like when you talk about that next to Cade Cunningham.
And I'm this is gonna nitpick Cade a little bit, but the one thing that I think Cade can improve on is being that level of killer that I feel like Jimmy Butler is. Jimmy Butler has a mentality that he's gonna go out there, he's gonna dominate you. He doesn't give a shit who you are. He doesn't care if LeBron James is who he's matched up with. He's gonna give him smoke every single time he goes on the floor. And that's something that Cade Cunningham could learn from and only elevate his own game. If I'm thinking, Cade 3-4 years down the road with even an ounce of Jimmy Butler's mentality, he is easily one of the best players in the NBA and an absolute killer when it comes to down the stretch. Oh, I'm going to come up. I'm going to take a step back three in your mouth. Bang. I'm going to come down, take you to the rack, and then dish it right off to Duren for a dunk. And then I'm going to come back and hit another step back three. Like that's the level of killer that Cade Cunningham has in him. He just hasn't reached that level yet.
He has it. His rookie season, he was top 5 in the league in clutch scoring the last 5 minutes of the game. And that's where people like Kevin Durant and others were like, yo. And what we've seen, though, is that when you do put more talent around Cade Cunningham, it does put him in better position to be ready for those moments. So after that first year, that was the most talent he had had. Jeremy Grant, Kelly Olynyk, Sadiq Bey, and some other vets, Isaiah Stewart. And so, yeah, I want to see Jimmy Butler on this team. I want to see Jimmy Butler or some other star, some other star-like or star-type player. And what I really do believe is that he would be able to complement Cade, if anything.
Yeah, I love the compliment. I think that they're having two facilitators that both can shoot and really handle the ball well, where you're not worried about high turnover rate. Yeah, I absolutely love that. I couldn't think of a better pairing, honestly, in free agency. I know all the Brandon Ingram talks out there. There's Zach LaVine talk out there as well. There's no better fit for this business team than Jimmy Butler. And Jimmy Butler makes you a threat, like an actual threat. Like, you want to talk about making the play-in? I would be in fear seeing Jimmy Butler on the other sideline. With his second best player being Cade Cunningham, oh my God, that is a playoff nightmare. I don't even think the top seeds in the East want to see you if you end up winning the play-in.
Dog. It would just be adding another one of those types of players, and one of those guys I think will benefit. Those guys like Marcus Sasser and others. Like he in Asar, Ron Holland. Goodness gracious, you know what? Golly, I could talk Pistons all day long, man. Actually, they got the game tonight. I'm going to miss shoot around because I think it just got going now, but I can't wait to see what this team does. Just want to see if they go out there against the Utah Jazz, who have 5 wins, and see if they just handle business the way that they should. Don't play down to your opponent. Play up. Play up to your talent. Let's rock.
Yeah, let's continue.
that's the show.
I hope
Yeah.
Detroit continues to just be a city that continues to handle business. The Tigers hopefully handle their business in free agency.
That tweet you just sent me, anyway.
I know, man. I'm sorry. Poor timing on that. Pistons take care of the Jazz, continue to win games that they're supposed to win. Red Wings continue to win games they're supposed to win. Also, that wasn't a foul on Denny Wolf last night. That was a terrible call.
Yeah.
Man. Hey. What up, though? Hey, solid chest pass, man. That's how my crew rocks.
I was a point guard back in the day.
Hey, that's what's up. Point guards unite. Hey, you know what? I might have those newspaper clippings next week, JB Smooth.
All right.
But, you know, it's been a show. Thank you guys for staying tapped in with Wake Up Woodward. Obviously, we got Big D Energy on the way. We got Ermanni and Edwards, and we have the Woodward Heavyweight. So stay tapped in Woodward Sports the rest of the day. Shout out to our brother Matthew Broder, as well as the vet of the squad and network and our Red Wings correspondent, Flannel Sam Reynolds. He had to run just a little bit early, but shout out to him. Stay safe, brother. Hey, that dude Justin, what up, though?
Hey, just great. Another great day. I was so glad to be able to go to a Wings win. When you don't get to go to a lot of games, you just pray that you go to good ones. And I got a good one last night, and I got this dope hat. So this is a Red Wings exclusive that they only get to sell at the team shop.
That one in KG has on a pretty dope hat, too.
Yeah,
we'll get back over
This
there,
is
Tim.
from the Palace, man. One of the last games I went to at the Palace out of a pro shop, man. I got this hat, so this hat is near and dear to my heart, man. For real.
That's what's up, man.
Yeah.
That early 2010s was the merch era.
It
like
was.
they had
It was
all the
beautiful.
and like the distributors were all the best too. Like
Yep,
the
yep.
NHL had Reebok. It's when Nike had the NFL and had NBA.
Yep.
That was the best combination of jersey sponsors.
That's a fact.
Cavassier Chase. What up, though, brother?
Hey, what up, though?
Nope.
Thursday, hope you... We good?
Go ahead, yeah.
All right, what up, everybody? It's Thursday. Hope you guys have a good one. As Kool-Aid said, stay tapped in. What is it, 40 minutes away? We got Big D Energy, Ermanni and Edwards, 2 to 4, Heavyweights, 5 to 7. So, see you guys in the chats. Hope you have a good one, and let's keep rocking and rolling into the weekend.
Hey, let's rock. And you know what? I agree with you, too, Aligna. I miss the Palace so much. Shout out to this elite booth. In the sound booth, we got Detroit's #1 draft pick. That is KG, a.k.a. Black Hollywood. What up, though, brother?
Y'all know what it is by now, man. I love every single one of y'all in the chat. Haters alike, man. We appreciate all of it, man. My team, appreciate y'all, man. I'm gonna miss y'all tomorrow, but I know y'all gonna crush it. I'll see y'all next week, and let's keep this shit rolling. Go Lions, man. We feasting on Bears Sunday. Flat out.
Feast on the Bears. Shout out to Woodward Sports MVP in the TD booth. That is JB Smooth. What up, though, brother?
Hey, what's up? Once again, shout out to all the chat family that we got going on here today. KG, we gonna miss you tomorrow, man. It's gonna be a little crazy and wild, but we got the playoffs this week in the Fantasy League, so hopefully that should be exciting and fun as well, too. And, hey, Lions on Sunday. What more can you ask for?
Let's do it. Go. It's your boy Brandon, a.k.a. Detroit Kool-Aid, your credential. Pistons reporting writer for the network. I appreciate you, brother. Hey, and this has been Wake Up Woodward. We appreciate you guys. If you haven't got the opportunity to, go ahead and smash that like button. I'm telling you guys, it goes a long, long way.
It does. We appreciate you.
I could be asking y'all for like $5.50, no longer $5 because Hot Ready's cost. But hey, go ahead and smash that like button. Hey,
probiotic chicken.
That Tyson chicken.
Wings.
It's not even $6. It's $6.99.
Right.
Let's get out of here, man.
Let's rock, man. Have a blessed day, y'all.